What's going on, everybody? It's Wednesday, December 30th, 2020. This is Brandon Toy, host of The Brandon Show. Good to see everybody in the chat. Hope everybody's doing good out there. One more day till New Year's Eve. Hopefully everybody got their champagne and their party hats ready. Gonna be a weird one with all this medical stuff going on. I suppose there's not going to be too many parties out there, but we usually just stay home anyway. So we'll see. Won't be much different for us, that's for sure. Let's see who we have in chat. We've got Strawman Dan. What's going on? Flat for Life. Brandon's Escape. Okay. Almost Unbelievable. Jack 653653. Anthony Burrows, page 42, Matrix Media, Ian Adams, and Flat Earth Data checking in so far. And there's Gadget right at the buzzer. Strawman Dan says, people, I have found drift. It snowed yesterday, so went for a drive. And the first roundabout I came across, I got at least 90 degrees. After repeated experiments, I can prove we live on a... Then there's a weird picture of a blue and green ball. I'm not sure what that is. Huh. Yeah, I do that in my driveway too sometimes. Pretty fun. Let's see here. If you want to support the show, you can do that through Streamlabs or Super Chat. Let me give you the link here. Keeps getting buried in my nose. Okay. Here's the link. I'll pin it to the top. It will read out your message. It seems to have been working pretty good. We had a lot of bigwigs support the show yesterday. Thank you to Nancy Pelosi and Donald Trump and Justin Trudeau and a lot of ballers who decided through Streamlabs to come out as flat earthers, and I commend them for their personal integrity and honesty in doing so. Anyway, we've got just a couple people in the waiting room here, and today we're going to talk about Mage 2 again. So yesterday I went through and used trigonometry and the Mage 2 footage to try to get an idea of how far you could see in the footage. Essentially used triangles to figure out how far away the apparent horizon was. And it turned out to be pretty far, 2,500 kilometers, which, suffice it to say is pretty impossible if you're living on a giant ball, according to the dimensions that they tell us. So I see Mage 2 as excellent flat earth evidence, and I've yet to hear a good reason why it isn't. So one thing I did hear yesterday, which I'm going to address today, is that the cameras are tilted. The cameras were crooked. Rumpus had to break in right when we were getting into it and say, the cameras are tilted, before he got cut off, and then Ruhif disengaged and said he'd lost interest and didn't want to talk about it anymore. It was pretty interesting, little exchange there. But I went through and painfully went through all of the pre-flight Mage and Mage 2 videos, the construction, all that crap. And I'm going to show you what I found today, and we'll see if it backs up the calculations that I did yesterday using straight trigonometry to determine the distance to the apparent horizon, which I am not standing behind, but I'm doing this for a reason. I would like them to falsify it. I would like them to prove that I am incorrect on my calculation of how far the apparent horizon is, and so far nobody has done it. Insanity is sanity. Ranty, new name suggestion, channel name suggestion, Branty. I don't know, it's so close to Brandy. I've seen that a couple times. It's just too close. I don't think I can do it. Mr. Sensible is not on. I did put an invite just shortly before the show in his Discord server and said, hey, we're going to be talking about Mage 2. If anybody wants to come over here and discuss it with us, you are more than welcome to do so. But I don't know if anybody will show up or not. That would be cool. At some point, I'm sure I'll speak with Mr. Sensible about it again. But last time I talked to him, he kind of said, I'm not a math guy. I don't do math. So I'm not sure of his ability to, follow the conversation. Not to insult him, but he did say he outsources all his math and calculations to somebody else. And I'm doing my own trigonometry, so I don't know. Maybe I can explain it to him. I'm not sure. Let's go into the Discord and see what's going on, and then I'll show you my clips and I'll show you what I found. Hey, what's going on? Got Jimbo. What's up, Jimbo?
Hey.
And Jeremy, what's going on, Jeremy? I know he's working, so he may not be able to answer. Just the three of us so far in the Discord. That's unusual. I can't remember the last time we only had 3 people in to start off the show with. But is there a convention or something going on that I'm not aware of? What the hell? Where is everyone? I'm sure they'll be popping in. What's up? Ranty Flat Earth has joined us. What's up, man?
Hey, how's it going? Yeah, I've just been watching the show from the sidelines and thought, where's everybody gone? You normally got 15 people in the chat at this time, so I thought I'd pop in and say hello.
Yeah, I don't know where everybody is. Maybe there's another show going on or something, or just one of those things.
Maybe it's tier 4. Maybe they think because it's tier 4 that here in the UK, if you're, it seems like most of the UK has been placed in tier 4. That maybe they think that they can't join because they're in tier 4. COVID restrictions, my friend.
Oh, COVID restrictions. Oh, they ramped it up again for you guys over there?
Oh yes, yeah. Now we're not allowed to socialize with anybody outside of our family. The people that live in your house. In fact, you're not allowed to leave the house for anything other than to go to work or to go shopping. Anything else is just banned.
Oh my God, yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, it's like there's different layers and different tiers that they've keep on adding on, and I think most of the countries in tier 4 now, and it just feels like a psychological attack right now.
Oh, for sure.
That's what it feels like. Yeah.
That's what it's like over here too, and I'm in Michigan, and our governor was having a spat with Trump, trying to make a political name for herself. So she was harder on us than many of the other governments, most of them. But it was like Michigan, New York, and California had the biggest restrictions that I know of. They were threatening us with $500 to $1,000 fines, all kind of crap.
Cool. What's happening in America anyway? I mean, is Trump still going to try and win the election? I don't know what's going on. I haven't really been keeping up to date with it for the past couple of weeks. So the last I heard was that Trump was still thinking that he could pull off the victory.
Yeah, I don't know. I still get the fundraising texts and all that crap because I donated it to him in 2016. But that's about as much as I see. I know he's still raising money. I know they're still talking about it. I know they're still pushing back. But it seems to have somewhat fizzled out.
No, they just won't talk about it. The news won't talk about it. It's going on. It's you got to go to like Newsmax, the new channel Newsmax. So anybody wants to know, a little bit about it, check in that channel.
Yeah, the Ukraine's going to have active international warrants for all of the Biden family, from Joe to his sons to uncles, nieces, unborn. They're such a criminal outfit, So
wow,
you're going to have someone coming in with international or Interpol. If he sets foot in that country, he'll be arrested. Any of his family sets foot, they'll be arrested. How can you have a president who can't serve America's interests in all countries?
Something that really interested me was that about 3 months ago, I saw somebody put, I don't know who it was, it might have been Paul Joseph Watson or something like that, put a clip out of The Simpsons. And they said, I think it was about the 6th of January, or sometime in January, that there was going to be all these riots and like massive, just like wars in America over the election. Now, you know what happens with The Simpsons and how accurate they've been in the past. So just that being out there has got to be kind of like some kind of foreshadowing. I feel, at least, anyway.
Well, if they wanted to, they could get riots going at any time. All they've got to do is, even hint that there's a whiff of legitimacy to what Trump's doing and a possibility it'll actually get overturned, and then it'll ramp up. And if they really wanted the shit to hit the fan, they could overturn the election or throw like Michigan or Pennsylvania or what was the other one? North Carolina, I think. Georgia, out the door. Throw those votes out, honest, and it would just, every city would burn down.
To be honest, though, I mean, it was obvious to anybody that followed that election that it was absolutely rigged to hell. I mean, Trump won that by a million miles. You know, nobody can deny that. But, you know, it's proving it, isn't it? And getting him through the door, because the mainstream have all jumped over and convinced everyone that Biden was the victor. But, you know, it's not judged by the mainstream media. It's judged by courts and jurisdictions and things like this. So it's going to get messy. But, you know, I mean, Trump got more votes than anybody. I think any president that ever got in, by not just a small amount. I mean, he got like 5 million more votes or something. And the places that he lost were known to be Republican strongholds. You know, I mean, Michigan and all that kind of stuff. So, I mean, I can't understand how the election went. Well, I can understand it because obviously it was frauded for sure. Does nobody see this?
Oh, yeah. Most everybody I talk to sees it. Like, all my family thinks that it wasn't legitimate. The friends that I talk to, I've got one buddy who's been researching it because he's been out of work. His wife works. And has been digging into the different companies that are doing the auditing and stuff. And he says that, I mean, he's digging way into it. He says that he finds, you know, spooks are involved with the audit companies, and just everything is finishing. There's people committing suicide that are attached to, you know, different aspects of it, that it's just a rat's nest of, you know, bullshit anywhere you dig into it.
At times like this, I'm glad I'm a painter and decorator, not in politics, I tell you.
Oh, no shit.
You know what I mean? Oh, Matt, you'd have to be so careful with what you said, otherwise you might accidentally slit your neck on a I don't know, toothbrush or something.
Yeah, I don't think you can get very far in politics in this day and age with being, you know, having integrity and being a good person. It seems like somewhere along the way you have to kind of sell your soul or give up your morals in order to get that power.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at the some of these places that they have to go to, I can't think what they're called now. Is it like Orange Grove or something? I don't know, some kind of weird name. And
Bohemian Grove.
Bohemian Grove, there we go. And it just seems like, you know, a lot of these people that are now prominent politicians in America, at least for the most part, have at least had some kind of connection to that, you know, with the Epstein stuff and all this kind of thing. And I feel that, you know, they've got all this blackmail things hanging over people. So, you know, you better follow the line, otherwise you're going to get exposed for this, that, and the other.
Absolutely. Yep. Very clear. And, you know, this election just told me that we don't have control. It's all an illusion. You know, I knew that before, but it was just like icing on the cake. Not even our elections are real. They're not even just manipulating us. They are controlling the results.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I can't imagine in 15, 16 years' time or something that this society that we know right now, the way they do the elections, everything and things like that, I can't see it being the same, because people are just having... Everybody that voted for Trump essentially knows that the election was stolen from him, because there's just... The mathematics just aren't there. And I know the Globers like to talk about mathematics, but in this case, seriously, they aren't there. You know, Trump did everything he did to expose what was going on, and still the fraud continued, and it's so bloody obvious. Now, you know, I mean, I don't, you know, I've got no sort of like allegiance to anybody in that camp, because I'm from the UK, so it doesn't really bother me. But from an outside point of view, you can definitely see what's going on. And I can see that this is going to be like another 9/11 for people. People that woke up at 9/11 may, you know, also be telling people, hey, you know, have you seen what's going on with this fraud? So, you know, I mean, I think that in 15, 16 years' time, all this bullshit that's going on, these people that are behind, it's all going to come out eventually. It has to all come out eventually. And this is just another expose of how they've done it. And people will wake up through this. And I'm hoping that Trump at least, makes a big enough noise to make people believe that, and not make them believe it, but let them look into it to appreciate it themselves, that this is real. There are other organizations behind people that are instigating all these bad things in the world and directing the way that the world goes. And we don't like that leader over there, we'll get rid of him, and we'll do this and we'll do that, and we'll change the world this way, and we'll all coerce people into a direction, whether they like it or not. And COVID may even help that too, because people, this is the great awakening right now. I'm telling you.
Oh yeah, I hope you're right about that. The problem is, here in the States, we have like 50% of the country who bought into this crap with the Biden stuff. So they're perfectly happy. Those people won't be looking into anything. Very few of them will look into anything because they got what they wanted. And I think they have it split in the middle like that with this two-party system so that they can maintain control like that. They always have one half of the population that is happy with the outcome and one half that's not. And, they come up with these crises, COVID, and the parties come together. That's when you're getting really screwed. Because any other time, not much gets done. But when the two parties start voting together and saying the same thing, and all the media is saying the same thing, like, it's dangerous, we got to lock down, everybody's got to take the vaccine, you're getting fucked then.
Well, we have been joined by other people. We have more guests.
Yes.
Maybe we can get some flat Earth stuff on the go.
Yeah, we've got Allie B. What's up, Allie?
Yeah, what do you want?
What's going on?
How you doing, Brandon?
Good. How are you?
That stunned you.
You did.
Yeah, wait.
Johnny, I just need to ask you this quick question before you go on. Did you get any kickback from your little presentation there at all, or?
Last night? I haven't heard a word. Not one word. No video yet. Might take them a couple days to respond. But the best thing that I've heard so far is the cameras are tilted. So I investigated that, and I'm going to talk about that today, whether that's the case or not.
All right, cool. That's up. Yeah.
Yeah. Brian, what's going on, Brian? Brian Leakey.
Not too much, man. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, pretty good, actually.
I'm happy to just be able to be heard with a connection, dude.
We're happy to hear you. Hopefully it stays strong.
Man, and you're not coming through.
Change my name to Robot.
But you're also not coming through like a bull in the china shop, man. I mean, sometimes you join on and your volume is like through the roof, I have to say.
Yeah, it's a full-time job keeping Brian's microphone at the right level, for sure.
Yeah, he's worth it.
Yeah, no, it's definitely worth it. Travis, what's going on?
Yeah, it looks like we spoke too soon, huh? Hello, what ho?
What's going on, man? Coming live from the road. And then SE Montreal also joined.
Good evening, everybody. The Earth is still stationary, I checked.
Good. I also checked today, and indeed the sun did still move over the Earth. So just in case anybody was worried that it had stopped. So that's the news flash for today. I think I said
you mentioned something.
Yeah,
you mentioned something last night, actually, because we were talking about this prior to going on the show last night. And when you mentioned it, I thought, we spoke about it, but it kind of got lost in the conversation, even though you did bring it up. And it was, how would you explain to a blind man? How would you tell a blind man that we're on a spinning globe?
That was brilliant, bro. That was brilliant.
And I would like a glober to come on and tell me, how would you tell a blind person that we live on a globe? Or how would you demonstrate it? How would you prove it to them?
I would say, what would be the point?
Because what they're trying to do is they're trying to say that optics doesn't matter. And this is the point. A lot of people, some people at least on the flat earth side, and a very small group, let's just say, are trying to say that optics are not the way forward with flat earth research, etc. And the globe earthers will also turn around and say, well, optics aren't a great thing. It's all it's all this, that, and the other. It can be manipulated. You can think of it one way or another way, and we don't really want to talk about it. We want to talk about other things. We want to talk about the stars or the moon or anything like that. Well,
we have to quit chasing them down the rabbit holes and bullshit and just stay focused on, actually the optics, even rotation, other stuff, fine, but not chasing down a rabbit hole and after some almost philosophical
but if you remove optics from the equation, if you remove optics from the argument, you're essentially then turning that person into a blind person. So essentially, you're removing optics. If you're removing optics, you're removing the ability to see anything. So you're essentially being a blind person. So then, how do you tell a blind person?
You don't have to be blind to put yourself in the position and analyze it from an individual point of view. We do have that ability.
I used to be one of those people that thought, we wouldn't solve this. Sorry,
if you're just analyzing rotation or spin or Coriolis, at least rotation, you can measure rotation with sensors, fine, without visuals or optics.
How would you say that to a blind person?
Well, they're conscious enough to know what rotation is, and that rotation is irregardless of whether you can see something rotating or not, is rotating.
Yeah, I used to be one of those people that Randy was talking about just now that, we wouldn't solve this optically, but I'm thinking that's a road we should probably go down now because there's not...
You'd have to paint a bullshit picture in their head, man. That's great. How can you convince a blind person? With optics, I think it's either I don't know if everybody would agree with this, but it's either the land curving in the distance or the light curving in the distance.
Explain the Coriolis to a blind person. How would you explain the Coriolis to a blind person?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
There it is. Game over right there, bro.
So that's just one thing to remember, though. The next time a Glober or somebody else from the Flat Earth side turns around and says that optics is pointless, you shouldn't really be debating optics, it's no good for Flat Earth, ask them that question. Just turn around and say, well, how would you explain the globe? Or how would you convince somebody that we live on a globe if you're a blind person?
Why the hell would you accept that they would be right on that supposition anyway?
Yeah, I
started the Chicago fire. It don't make it so.
Yeah, it doesn't matter, because what you're doing is you're dropping a shitload of fuck you in their lap when you ask them that question because they can't answer it.
Yeah. Well, hopefully we'll get somebody to come on today and we can definitely ask them that question. I have a feeling I know what the answer is going to be because their favorite answer right now is about the Atvos effect. So we'll see if that's what they say. That's pretty weak in my book.
Brandon, do radar signals follow the Rayleigh criterion and the angular do radar signals and electromagnetic EM waves whatnot?
They follow the inverse square law just like any radio signals do. Some have very short range, as a matter of fact. Often the higher the frequency, the way more wattage you need to get a distant signal. G5 is short range.
Oh, now you're roboting, Brian. All right, sorry about that. Okay, let me get into this presentation from last night. I don't know if all you guys saw it. Randy, I don't know if you had a chance to check it out. But last night I went through and used triangles to try to calculate, and I'm sharing my screen in Discord, the distance that Mage 2 could see to this apparent horizon, what the ballers think is the geometric horizon in this picture. And it turned out to be 2,500 kilometers, roughly. This is the same mathematics that the ballers use for debunking the angles to Polaris on a flat Earth and saying, oh, there's no way Polaris couldn't work on a flat Earth. Same concept, right? And you can see, here's the answer right here, 2,578. And all we did was we compared the position of the apparent horizon here in this camera with the apparent horizon in the wide camera, which those cameras are back to back. Now, Rumpus jumped on and said, oh, we've already talked about this. I already told you that the camera is tilted. And I don't think he ever said that to me, and I don't know what he was referring to, but I don't think the camera is tilted. So I went and looked for evidence that these cameras are tilted. I went through all Mr. Sensible's videos, pre-Mage, during Mage, the building, the construction, the design, looking for evidence that these cameras are tilted, and I could not find any. So let me show you what I did find that supports that these cameras are exactly parallel and back-to-back with each other, and that perhaps our assumption that the position of the that the cameras are parallel or horizontal when the position of the horizon within the frame is the same in both cameras may be a good assumption until proven otherwise. Here is Mage 2 being built. You can see this is the base down here. This is one of the sides. This is this is some kind of foam or something. It's a flat base, and you see that pattern that's laid out with tape there? That's what they used for the top and the bottom. So the top and the bottom are exactly the same size. You'll see the back was bigger, wider than the front, and that's what they connected that wood and held those strings out in front of the camera that was installed in this wall on there. So
I think that's styrofoam, but that's another topic.
So the top and the bottom were parallel. The front and the back are parallel, and the sides are slanted. And then you'll see it just kind of further being built here. There's the side going on. I mean, there's really not much to the construction of this thing. You can see it's a pretty generic box, right? Straight up, straight up, straight up and down. Both sides are straight up and down. All right, so then we'll take a look at how the cameras are installed in the box. And here you can see the pattern, another view of the box.
Yeah, by the way, that's insulation to try to keep batteries and other stuff warm. They're like making a cooler for it, very lightweight.
Yeah, that's exactly what he said. Yep, it was to protect the equipment, and it was very lightweight. So here you can see how one of the cameras, this is the back camera, was installed in the styrofoam with its face flush. The camera is straight up and down. It's sitting on the flat bottom of the styrofoam container. We'll see an inside picture too. Let me see if I went too far in this. So there's the camera.
Let's just give him kudos too for at least doing this. You know, you've got to hold your hand up and say, at least he showed everything, and been
it's very
honest
nice
about what he's shown.
Straightforward. Yeah. Really excellent engineering and stuff on his part. Hats off to him for that. He's very good.
Yeah,
really,
I agree.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah, this is excellent work he did. He put a lot of effort into doing this. I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not cutting him down at all.
This kind of research.
It's absolutely beautiful work.
Yep, this kind of research is right up my street. I love people going the extra mile. This guy's done a really good job.
And on a budget.
And he's given us the information. He showed us the data, which is great, because oftentimes you'll get people hiding stuff or not presenting the full script of everything. At least this Brandon, what he's showing now is he's showing the construction of this.
Yeah,
and this is going to be important, I think.
He's not trying to get a bunch of garbage in there that we need money for this and that and the flagellator valve. So it's cool. It's really good.
Yeah, plenty of footage. So there's the camera flush with the wall. And there's another shot of it. This is the top camera. It doesn't really come into play in this analysis. There's another shot of the camera. And then you can see the other, I think this is the front camera, the one that had the strings across it. And I'll just play this because this is paused strangely. Okay, you see that is also flush with the front of the case. Those two walls are parallel with cameras that are installed flush with the parallel walls, sticking out in opposite directions from each other. I don't see any signs of any tilt. There's no tilt in the construction.
Brandon.
It's a box with parallel sides. I don't see any tilt in the installation of the cameras. Yeah, what's up, Travis?
I agree with this. Listen, the construction of this all screams that he was very meticulous with everything that he did. And if he's going to be that meticulous, he's also going to be very level and straight with what he's built. So he's not going to make something that's not fucking flush. So Rumpus turning around and saying that the camera was tilted, I believe is just a red herring, because it appears to me, from what I'm seeing at least, that this guy went the extra mile to make sure that everything was just perfectly straight and level.
Yeah, just to add to that, Rumpus calling a guy with this level of competence, you know, like he's going to make something shoddy, and seeing this, you should be embarrassed. And I hope you do see this and get a bit embarrassed.
Just real quick, what was the focal length of the cameras? Was it just 35 millimeter?
Oh, I don't know. It's in his video somewhere. I'm not sure.
I know all the 4K cameras for adapting to the drone I have and everything are all fixed frame. They have a fixed focal length. You go up and you got it's preset.
Yeah,
the ones I have don't focus. They give you 4K, beautiful images, but there's no focusing. It's at infinity, I guess it's set.
Yeah, Brandon.
Yeah, Effie? Was that Effie? You're a little low, I think, but what's up? You there? Oh, he's dropping off and dropping on. Okay, so let me just kind of continue this. You can see, you know, you open this box. You're right, it's good craftsmanship. He built it well. He built it straight. No issues. There's the camera sitting on there. Sorry, zoom past that. You see that sits on a little flat shelf in there. Sticks out. I think there's a wider shot view of it.
Better job than NASA.
Yeah, it's pretty nifty.
This is good construction. You've got to say. I mean, just go back a tad and just show that. That's really good work.
And on a great budget.
Yep.
You know, just look at everything. Just look at what he's doing there with the wood. You know, just if you look at that and you look how it's constructed, you can tell that everything's been measured down to the millimeter. You can just see that.
Oh yeah,
He
for
probably
sure.
did it on AutoCAD or something first, and then made it real.
So that's what it looks like, and then you will see in the next shot here, kind of the concept. Let me skip through. It even shows it. It's kind of a cube with the cameras on each side, pointing in opposite directions. Now, here he's going to lift it up and show it. This is what actually came back to the ground. So it is the same piece of hardware that we just reviewed. And he's talking about the strings in this video. This is from the debate. But he kind of turns it around, shows the back. There's the camera hole. You know, no trickery, no switching out of the things. The same one. So, based on all the evidence that I've seen, as Ranty said, he had a well-constructed box. Very well built. The walls were parallel. The cameras were flush in the walls opposite each other. I don't see any reason so far not to assume that the images would be essentially mirrors of each other. Now, perhaps there's something that we don't know, which I'd be happy to hear about, but as of now, my assumption stands as far as I'm concerned. So
it would be really cool for Mr. Sensible, if anybody's in the chat right now that has a hotline to Mr. Sensible, if he would like to join the panel and discuss this, because I see his construction is very meticulous, it's very well built, and as Brandon and probably most of the panel, will agree, we believe that he built it so that they were mirror images of each other, but in the opposite direction. So we believe that they would essentially be looking back to front and front to back. Now, if he wants to join the panel and confirm that for us, that would be great. I mean, if he wants to tell us that his construction wasn't quite as good, and
he's got.
Hang on, let me finish. So maybe if he wants to join and tell us that his construction wasn't very good and it was a bit wonky, bit like Rumpus has tried to say, and he wants to come on and tell us that he'll do better next time, great. Pop on, tell us.
Yep, absolutely. Would love to hear from him. Would love to see any evidence that we can't treat these cameras as if they're back to back. Now, I do see a comment in the chat that says, balloons sway. If the horizon is in the center of the picture, the cameras are not level. Nope, that's not the assumption that we made. What the assumption is that when the horizons are at the same point in comparison to the center line, no matter what altitude, so this one happens to be near ground level, only about 250 meters up, you can see that the horizon is at the same attitude compared to the center line of the camera. This we are assuming is a horizontal state. When the camera is higher, such as in the footage that we analyzed, you can see that the horizon is lower than the midpoint in front and back, but it's at the same general area in each cameras. Now, if these cameras are back to back, you would expect to see a similar presentation in regards to its distance from the center point in each camera. And they are back to back. They are essentially parallel, on parallel planes pointing in opposite directions. That's the assumption that hasn't been falsified yet. So it has nothing to do with the horizon being in the exact center of the frame. We're not trying to say the horizon rises to eye level. That has nothing to do with this. Nothing at all. All we're trying to do is establish when the cameras are horizontal so that we can use trigonometry, triangles, to calculate the distance to the apparent horizon using the straight trigonometry method that's used to try and debunk Polaris on a flat Earth. That's it. And doing that, using trigonometry, we came up with a distance of 2,500 approximately kilometers. That's a long way. That's a very long way. And I would like it explained to me how we could have a view 2,500 kilometers, or perhaps there's something we're doing wrong. So let me know. Let me know what our faulty assumption is. Let me know why the math is wrong. Let me know why this method of calculating the distance to the apparent horizon is incorrect. Because so far, the only argument I've heard has just been debunked. By the way, I want to point out another thing, which I mentioned last night, but I want to talk about again. If you look at where the horizon actually is, do you see this picture right here? It's color enhanced. So this is generally the same shot. It's a little higher. The apparent horizon, what Sensible thinks is the horizon, is a little higher in this picture, but I changed the color. And you can see that the land goes further beyond. There's at least this color that I'm thinking is land or clouds further beyond where Sensible thinks the horizon is at. And if you watch that debate, I go over in detail what I think we're looking at in these pictures. It's not the curvature of the Earth. But so we are being generous on the ball side of the argument and just going with what you guys think is the apparent horizon to try to calculate the distance. That's all. All right. That's pretty much all I wanted to say about that. Now, hopefully we can get somebody in here to explain what we're doing wrong. I see Paid NASA Shill. I don't know if you've been following along in the argument. Paid NASA Shill, how you doing?
No, I'm good. I just tuned in trying to see what you've done.
If NASA would kindly send a flat earther into space, maybe that would work.
I'm a flat earther. I want to go into space.
You know, if
I'm a flat earther, I would go to space. Send us up there, and I'll come back and I'll tell you whether or not it's a globe.
If Mr. Sensible put his plans together and published them as open source and Creative Commons in a PDF, I'm sure they're practical, inexpensive to construct and launch, and they'd be a good thing for everybody. I wish he'd do something like that.
Oh, you can almost get the plan straight from his videos, Jimbo. I mean, it's not that complicated what he did.
I don't think he would
so
be
nice.
the
Simple.
type of person that would hold. He's not the type of person that would hold on to the data, I don't think. So I think if you asked him, he'd just give it you.
I agree. He's put out so much about it, so much detail, hours and hours and tens of hours of discussion and information about.
My favorite design of balloon and basket that I've seen in 6 years, watching Flat Earth and launches and all this stuff.
Well, it's really cool because
Super
it had
cool.
those two cameras back to back. I really like that he did that and then had one looking up too. I just wish he would have put some kind of gyro so that we had some data about when the cameras were horizontal instead of having to do this kind of analysis and make assumptions. And
There's a lot of
also a
weight, though, isn't
compass.
It's all added weight, though, isn't it?
It is,
You know,
yeah.
every time you put something on it, you've got to put more helium in the balloon.
Larger balloon, yeah.
You know, more
Well, yeah, but
expense, you know.
if you think about that, you could eliminate the vertical camera and establish a camera that would be fixed on the gyro the whole time, so that way you would know the timing of all of the altitudes and motions and whatnot, and you could see that. So I would sacrifice the vertical camera for something that would be fixed on a gyroscope and a compass, maybe.
Yeah, I agree. I would have given up that third camera for the gyro and compass as well, because you don't really get much out of this balloon cam besides getting to watch the balloon explode, which is cool, but it's not telling you much.
Well, I don't know actually. I mean, that the balloon cam is the one that lifts you up, right? So that's the focus basically. So has anybody ever done any measurements on that to see how much the balloon actually expanded the higher up it went?
I haven't. I don't know if anybody else has.
So that would be pretty cool to see what the elasticity, let's say, of the balloon was, how much it expanded as it went up. And you might be able to work something on that where you can create a better balloon to go up, with better material.
Yeah, that's an interesting question though. Here's the footage, and I think we can see the balloon. Oh yeah, look at how small it is here in the beginning.
Yeah,
pretty tiny. Oh, what happened?
I bought a bunch of Mylar like weather blankets, and I was gonna try and make a real light scene and make a bigger balloon out of Mylar blankets, but I haven't done it yet.
Do you know what I would do? I would put a little valve on it somehow, so that it it was controllable from
That's a great idea, man.
From the ground.
Idea.
Just release a bit of the pressure.
Supposedly what NASA did with their that big Echo 2 balloon that they say they sent up to 1,000 miles was put pressure relief valves that were automatic in it, so that it would naturally lose as the pressure got higher and push the air out of the balloon. So I'm sure there's a way to do it.
Exactly. And check, I don't know if anybody's seen
Can't hear you, Brian.
Roboting, Brian.
Right, so I think that if we have this data with the balloon cam, we may be able to, if we were to have some kind of valve, we could recreate the same sort of thing with what supposedly NASA did, and release at certain altitudes a little bit of pressure. So we may be able to get another 30 or 40,000 feet higher.
You think you can
that would be cool.
Get it? You think you can get it higher? Yeah, that would be cool. And you're right about having to trade off equipment for more bigger balloon, more. He didn't use helium. I can't remember what he used. Hydrogen. I can't remember. But yeah, it's a trade-off. One other thing I wanted to point out was the height of the cloud deck. That was one question that came up during the debate, and it looks like it's at about 1,000 meters, somewhere between that, right around 1,000 meters. So I don't think that plays much of a part in the calculations when you're getting up there to 36,000 kilometers. You probably treat the ground as if it's the clouds as if they're the ground without much error, although there will be some. But just to point that out in case anybody was wondering about that. So, Anything else about this, guys?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd like to make a comment about this, please, Brandon.
Yeah.
Concerning the Echo, what you were saying about the Echo balloon there, the satellite. Just for clarity, apparently this is their story. I'm not saying I believe this. That balloon was sent up on a rocket, and they expanded it in space, just for clarity. It didn't go up like we think a regular balloon goes up.
Yeah, good point. I suspect that's what they're doing with a lot of these. It's just, that's what the rocket's purpose is to get the balloon up that high. That's exactly what they did with the Echo balloons.
Yep.
Now, they say they're not real balloons. If you talk to Phil or some other people about it, what they'll say is, it's not a balloon in the sense that it's floating like a balloon that you have on the ground, a helium balloon. It's just to protect the equipment inside, which it sounds like total bullshit to me.
I agree.
Can I be heard now?
Yes, you can.
Okay, the video before last on my channel, I got a little clip of just the front page of it. I showed just a minute of it, but it shows NASA, and it says balloons launched into orbit. Okay, it shows them launching it from the ground, and they have all the launch. I mean, of course, you can't see the thing all the way in orbit because you can't see that far, but it says that they're launching balloons from the ground into orbit. And it's one of them giant-looking balloons that they launch with the crane, the mobile crane.
Oh, I see it. It's the satellites or something else video.
Hey, can we just get some? Some likes?
I'll get a timestamp.
Can we just get some likes on the stream right now? 17 to 10. Come on, guys. We can at least get 50 tonight.
Okay, so what's going on in this video, Brian?
I just seeing the it's a short video, but it caught my attention because it says NASA launching balloons into orbit. So if they're claiming, pretty much with the title, they're launching the balloons into orbit. There's no rockets. They're coming from the ground. So they're saying that they have to hit a rocket. They use a rocket to launch Echo. Well, from this video, they wouldn't need a rocket because it says that they're launching balloons into orbit. Because think about it, if they're launching them up there and calling it they call it geostationary orbit. They're still even calling that an orbit, But it says right there launching balloons into orbit. So to me, that was worth talking about.
Yeah, you're right. I see it now. I found the part. NASA releases 2,366 kilograms super pressure balloon into Earth orbit. Well, that's a lot of weight. And
those things could lift up a couple of cars easily. No sweat.
The reference for this? The link?
Yeah, let me post this in the general here.
Whoever that was, I could barely hear what he said.
I'm sorry, my mic is low. I can't scream.
Yeah, I turned them up too. There you go. I just put the link in the YouTube chat and the Discord. But yeah, that's pretty cool. I've searched for information on NASA's balloons before, and I didn't come up with much. I think I found like 3 or 4 articles about them using balloons. But it's definitely interesting. I mean, how long can these things really stay up there? These balloons. Echo 1 was up there for like 7 years. So what was so special about Echo 1 compared to what they're using today? Because if you read all the information out there today, they don't admit to being able to have a balloon up there for longer than, a few months at the most. At least that's what I found.
Articles that I read about the balloons with the satellites and all that, they're hard to find now. Like, what's the big deal about, there's information like all of a sudden this information's no good. You got to take the articles down. It's crazy, man. It's pretty obvious to me. They're suppressing information.
Well, talking of suppressing information, we have Professor Phil Bell that's in the chat right now, and he told me, and he may have told the panelists at one time as well on a show, that he actually watches from his desk the satellites leave the Earth's orbit and head off to the moon, and they have a camera facing back, and it watches the Earth get smaller and smaller and smaller until you see the entirety of the Earth. Now, this is what he told me, and I said to him, "Can you get me some pictures of that?" And he said it might jeopardize his career if he was to do that. But he has the information apparently. So if somebody's suppressing information, and considering how
that's the stupid.
It'll show a flat circle.
That's stupid, Phil.
Sounds like he's admitting that they're suppressing information.
Well, no, it seems to me, and I said to him, "Listen, you wouldn't be fired. You would actually be held up, and you would be saying you were the person that debunked flat Earth if you were to produce this evidence that you just told me you have." And he was like, "Yeah, but I would lose my job." And I said, "Well, no, you wouldn't. You would be a celebrity because you would be the person that destroyed flat Earth, right?"
They have these pictures from the Apollo missions, and you guys reject them. What's your problem?
Well, because
the Apollo missions show a flat horizon from them, them like 6,000 miles in the air, and the horizon's still flat.
So the blue marble is flat. Okay.
The blue marble. You mean the one that had the North America the same size as like half of the Earth at one point?
He's talking about the one with the 14 strips of separate data that
Blue marble was taken on the Hasselblad camera for the guys in Apollo 17.
A plane 80,000 feet in altitude can get the amount of strips needed to make the blue marble.
This was taken on a Hasselblad camera on real film back in 1972. So there was no CGI involved.
Oh, there's no CGI, then it couldn't possibly have been made any other way, right? Because CGI wasn't invented. They didn't have special effects or painting or any other methods of doing things back then, did they, NASA Shell?
Didn't they also like tell everyone that they had the camera next to the craft's window, and then somebody walked past the camera in front of the camera, and it was actually somebody holding a cardboard piece of curved cardboard. Yeah, the window.
What are you talking about?
You don't know what you're talking about because you haven't done your research, my friend.
Funny thing happened on the way to the moon.
I have to come up with some sort of.
Right.
I mean, you should know about taking cameras of the horizon until you do it well.
Hey, listen, I'm not putting my stuff on for the whole world to see and telling people that I stuck my camera as close to the window as possibly could be, and I couldn't get it any closer. And we were seeing the Earth in shadow. Only when the original clip was found, they found somebody walk in front of the damn camera, and he was at the other side, supposedly, of the shuttle. Have you seen On the Way to the Moon? Was it something on the way to the moon? Something strange happened on the way to the moon.
Happened on the way to the moon. Pretty sure that's what it's called.
And you've seen that clip then?
Oh, I have to go look for it.
Well, the other question, not only about the cardboard insert, Ranty, is why are they filming from across the cabin? That's the part I don't get. Well, why not stick the camera up closer to the window?
Exactly. Listen, this guy's just come in. He doesn't know what he's talking about. He just
he's been in here multiple times, and he's shown himself to be ignorant, essentially.
I don't know all these new conspiracy theories you guys dream up.
This isn't new. This has been out for years, my friend.
I'm sorry, and I try to ignore pseudoscience.
Well, evidence. You try to ignore evidence
pseudoscience
provided by NASA. You want to ignore evidence provided by NASA. That's fine.
Videos straight from NASA is pseudoscience, in your opinion?
So
it is in mine, absolutely. But it seems like you're maybe cherry picking then.
What?
Taking some things from NASA, that's legit, and then other things that maybe make them look bad, those things, they're not legit.
Oh, I know. It's all
are NASA trustworthy, or are they not trustworthy?
I thought it was all CGI.
You can't have it both ways.
In the water tank.
What's that?
Isn't it all done in the water tank anyway?
Is it?
Okay, this is a red herring. You're changing the topic. We're not talking about the ISS right now, okay?
Oh, okay. So
We're
they
not
follow
talking about
different.
the ISS.
Like I said, he's shown himself to be ignorant previously.
Yeah,
He's been on here multiple times.
I mean,
He doesn't seem like he's here for an honest
I come
conversation. He seems like he's here to waste time and mess things up. So
I'm here for a good laugh.
You obviously ain't seen the videos where they got the ISS 24-hour live stream on camera, and the people go outside and there ain't a cloud in the sky, and ISS shows the clouds just blanketing the whole region of the country where they're at. You obviously haven't seen any of them videos, but yeah, that's been debunked a long time ago. It's not a theory.
You could prove that it's real if you tried to. I mean, there've been people out there. Look at the videos where people actually observe it and triangulate how high it is. It's
you remember when
people have observed something in the sky? Yes.
Do you remember when? Do you remember when they went? Hold on one sec. Do you remember when they went through the Van Allen radiation belt because they didn't know it was there, and that's how they survived? Do you remember that bit?
Yeah, I know you don't understand. There's different kinds of radiation, do you?
I know that if you go through that without protection, you're quite dead.
Different kinds of radiation. Thank you.
You know, if you go through the Van Allen radiation belt without any protection, which is why supposedly they haven't been back without actually having themselves all protected, but yet they did it in the 1960s, early 1970s because they didn't know it was there.
They knew it was there.
No, they didn't know. No, if you don't know it's there, it doesn't affect you.
Oh, I see.
Okay, yeah, but okay, listen, we're just gonna get going back and forth, but listen, one of the astronauts is on film saying we must not have known about it. Okay, so even though you just said they knew it was there, one of the astronauts, when asked, okay, hold on, when he was asked, how is it that you made it through the radiation belts, he said, we must not have known about them.
Which astronaut?
You can look it up. I don't remember.
Alan Bean.
Yeah, deadly radiation. We must not have known about it. We just flew right through it, right?
So now there's a colloquial. We must be thinking of colloquial radiation.
No, I'm sure he probably meant it in jest. Because knowing these guys, they're pretty macho guys.
Sure.
Okay, that is absolutely. You are incredibly dishonest, sir. Look at. There's no. Hold on. Stop. There's no possible way. There's no possible way for you to make a statement that Alan Bean was talking in jest when you first of all haven't even seen the video, and then second of all, hold on, and then second of all, you and I are seeing the same video. And then all you're going to do now to misdirect is, oh, he was just joking. Come on, man.
No, this guy's like a perpetual excuse machine for NASA. I'm sure there's nothing we could say.
That's why the name is NASA Paid Shill, because I get paid by NASA to shill their shit.
Can you tell us about how they plugged the ISS hole with the finger?
That works. So.
No. Can you tell us about it? Tell us what happened.
Well, it's like the Dutch boy at the dike, only backwards, right?
No. Please, just tell the story. I want to hear it.
Oh, okay. Well, why don't you know the story? You tell me.
No, you tell me the story.
I know the story. You made it up. You tell me.
I didn't make it up. It's a real story. I want to hear you tell the story of how the astronaut plugged the hole in the ISS with his finger.
Yeah, okay. So you take your finger and you put it over it. What's the problem?
Yeah, but what happened? You know, why was there a hole there?
Micrometeorite? Who knows? The last one was a manufacturing flaw.
Hold on, wait a minute. So you don't know?
Made the story up a week after Globebusters did a show on the air pressure up there. A week later, we get a story from NASA about a guy plugging his plugging a hole with his finger using duct tape and shit. A week after a video was exposed about with Don Pettit.
You say
saying, well, they must have some kind of protocol.
What I'm doing here by asking him questions about what his supposed masters here have supposedly put out is I'm actually putting him on the spot and asking him to tell us about these situations that occurred, and it's quite clear that he doesn't know actually much of anything about any of this. He's just called himself paid NASA shill, comes on and thinks he can talk about things, but he doesn't have a single point of reference where you can say to him, tell us about this ISS where the guy stuck his finger in the hole and tell... Yes, it was over a year ago. How many years ago was it? How many years ago?
2?
No, more. How many more? Tell us about the story. Tell us what happened. You know, you're coming on here to tell us you're a paid NASA fucking shill. You better fucking tell us about what happened.
Well, I don't know. You know, NASA's big, and there's all
What do you mean you don't know what happened? It was all over the news. It was talked about on Flat Earth for 6 months. You know? What are you trying to tell? What are you trying to say, that you don't know what you're talking about?
Before that, I was in
seriously.
a different department.
This is what pisses us off. This is what pisses Flat Earthers off. You come on here.
About NASA, right?
You come on here. No. You come on here. This is a big event. You come on here and you try to tell you this is a big event, and you try to come on here and you try to explain to us about what actually happened. Tell us what happened.
I'm supposed to know about something happened 2 years ago.
Tell us what happened. Tell us what happened.
Plugged the leak in the space station.
Tell us what happened.
See, looks like a micrometeorite hit it, and then he found it and put his finger over it. Then he plugged
it now, Ranty.
Yeah, I know he is. Yeah, tell us what happened.
If he just
admitted it. He's just admitted it.
What's the big deal?
He's just admitted it.
What's the big deal?
Because you don't have a clue about what you're talking about. You don't understand the pressures inside the ISS to the pressures outside of the ISS. You don't know what would happen if a meteorite struck the fucking ISS. You don't think a finger could stick and plug the hole.
Exactly happened.
All right, tell us, what was the pressure differential between the outside and the inside?
That's the pressure department. You gotta get with the pressure.
Can you tell us what the pressure differential was from the outside was to the inside?
Let's see, about what, 14.2 psi, 9 point something. I don't know. You just gotta get with
not
the pressure
in
department.
PSI, dude. Not in PSI.
Oh, come on. Let him hang himself here. Come on. Tell us the pressure on the inside versus the outside.
Well, that's the pressure department. I don't know that. Am I supposed to know everything?
Well, yes, because this is a flat Earth debate.
Oh, I see. So I'm supposed to know everything, huh?
Yes, you are. You're a paid NASA shill.
So it's 14.7
Hey, Ranty, the department he might be in.
PSI. Wow.
Oh man, guys like this, I could rip him apart forever. I mean, guys, you know.
Yeah, maybe. Listen, Ranty, maybe he's in the department. Maybe he's in the department where he can explain that stuffed animal that they teleported up to the ISS, and it wasn't there. And then the lady grabs it. It appears out of thin air like Star Trek, and the lady grabs it with her hand. It was a kid.
Well, that's because they're up on. That's because they're up on like Peter Pan in the movies, where they're up on the swing, and she couldn't reach it. Yeah.
No, it was there 1 second, and then they said they showed like they had teleportation technology showing the kids this shit. The little stuffed animal sparkles and then appears out of thin air. The lady grabs it. So they have some hellified whatever you want to, however you want to explain it, they have some hellified visual effects going on, don't they?
That's all been kept secret by the Men in Black. You know, that movie was real, right? There actually is a Men in Black.
What it is an indicator of the special effects that they use in the.
And Area 51 too. The aliens are there too, so you gotta keep that stuff secret.
Yeah, so this guy's got nothing. I mean, it's just mockery and ignorance, and
you guys make up shit. You guys are making up shit as you go along, so I'm just making it up too. What's the difference between me making it up and you making it up?
What shit did we make up? What shit did we just make up about an astronaut sticking his finger in a hole? No, did we make that up?
Well, I mean, because you know that they're not really in space, right? It's just a sound set on.
Did we make it up?
No.
So it was true.
You're supposed to know all about it.
Why wouldn't you?
What we made up.
Why wouldn't you?
Why would I? It was just some minor incident. Happens every day.
It's kind of like your mum's harder than my mum kind of thing, isn't it? But you see, everybody on this panel, apart from you, seems to know about this story, right? Why don't you know about this?
Because it's not a big deal.
Well, no, I think it is a big deal. And the reason it's a big... No, let me finish. Because you are an indoctrinated person. You are somebody that has been brainwashed by the establishment to believe in the globe. And you don't understand that we have information that may destroy your belief in the globe. So what you do is you just pretend, you make a name up called Paid NASA Shill, and you pretend, you pretend that you have all the information, you pretend that you know it all, and you come on these panels and you try to mock. But what you don't understand is that we listen, have done our research, and when we put you on the spot, you have nothing. You have nothing.
The only thing you've done is prove the globe every time you take a picture of the horizon.
What's this? Hey, this is my attack on you. It's not your attack on me, mate. I've just exposed you to the entire panel. This is how we handle. This is how we handle people like you. We expose that you don't know anything about your own model. This is your model on trial. This isn't our model on trial. This is your model on trial, and you don't know about it.
Tell me this top secret information you have. So, excuse me. So,
it's top secret now. Oh my god, guys! At this point, I think I need to.
Wait a minute, hold on. Let me see if I got this right. So, there's a hole in the International Space Station.
Claim we make shit up. I want to hear what we make shit up. Screw that shit you just looked up online. What did we make up? You said we make everything up. What did we make up?
I'm trying to get. Hold on a second. My teacher just gave me some great information. So let's see. A hole in the space shuttle caused by micrometeorite. An astronaut plugs it with his finger, and that means the Earth is flat. Got it.
Is that what we said? But you did say something interesting, Paid NASA Shill. You said that Ranty proves the globe every time he points his camera at the horizon. What specifically were you referring to?
He sees boats go over the horizon bottom first. I pretty much.
Oh, really? Could you show us one of the pictures you think proves the globe?
That Ranty has taken.
Yeah, that Ranty's taken. Show us one.
Oh, hold on a second. I gotta get into the top secret NASA computers and find the Ranty file.
Okay.
So if we're going by photographs, then we show the black swan. That proves the flat Earth, right?
Oh, the black swan. Yeah.
See a boat not go over the horizon. So hold on. So every video we show you of a boat disappearing, not going over the horizon, is that proof for a flat Earth, dipshit?
Oh, so the black swan. Yeah, let's look at that. You know that. That's a very interesting picture taken on the very...
No. We're not going to look at the black swan. You made a statement that Ranty has proven the globe, so you pick out any picture that Ranty has taken, and you present your argument that that photo demonstrates curvature.
And bearing in mind, you are taking me on right now, so if you want to talk optics, go ahead, my friend. Knock yourself out.
Optics. I know Flurf Optics really... You know all about Flurf Optics.
Yeah, more rhetoric. Let's see the picture.
I know about reality, my friend.
So, I know you guys don't like them. And
okay, so I'm sorry. Do you have a picture yet?
Oh, 1 second. I gotta get into the top secret NASA computers.
Okay, well, stop talking. Go away. Get your file, and then come back and start talking.
Oh, okay. Well,
so what's interesting, guys, is that the other day when I was showing the photos that I've taken, it was interesting that Paid NASA got to the point where he was very intrigued by my photos. So that would be something to follow up with him on too as well.
Yeah, your photos were interesting. They were.
No. I said you can stop talking until you find the file.
Oh, I can stop talking. Okay. I always listen to what Flurf say, because they know.
You don't even listen to what NASA says, apparently.
He thinks calling us Flurfs hurts us. As if we aren't called Flurfs like 20 times a day. I mean, honestly, man, how long you been doing this?
He's just a glob. What can I say?
Ranty undressed him without him even knowing it. He took off his pants. Like, wow. Well done, Ranty. I heard him mention.
Thanks, SE. I'm glad you got it. I'm glad you got it.
Oh yeah, bro. I mean, they do that all the time. Here, I'll give you another example. I heard him mention the Hasselblad camera, right? Paid NASA Shields, tell me something about the Hasselblad camera.
Oh, I have to shut up because I can't talk until I have completed my assignment.
See what I mean? I bet you I know more about the Hasselblad camera than he does.
Oh, you do, huh? Then you know that it was taken with film and not CGI, right?
Right. Tell me something about it. Do you know what a Rizzo plate is? Can you explain to me and the audience what the Rizzo plate is of the Hasselblad camera, please?
The Rizzo plate, huh?
What was that? That's what I thought. I rest my case. Well done, Ranty.
Yeah, he doesn't know much. I see Ruhif in the chat too, and I'm wondering if he saw my rebuttal of the tilted camera, or if he's got any evidence since he hightailed it out of here when I started doing trigonometry yesterday.
I'm surprised you know trigonometry. I really am. Congratulations.
Well, here's the thing: you've got levels of people that come in here, and it would appear to me, at least, this is the first time, obviously, I've spoken to paid NASA shill, so it would appear to me as he's literally at the bottom right now, so he needs to work on his trolling techniques at least, or at least look into this kind of stuff and come back with some stuff. But because anybody else that comes in here and talks to us at least can put up an argument. I mean, come on, what are you actually doing here? Seriously.
I told
He
you.
literally doesn't know what's going on. We exposed him on that.
I don't know what's going on, right?
We exposed him in the after show one night.
I come in here to have you guys tell me what. Let's see, because a hole in the space shuttle, and a guy puts his finger there, and the Earth is flat. I love that logic.
No one made that claim. No one made that claim.
We didn't say that. We asked you to explain what actually happened. We asked you for your story.
Okay, hole in the space shuttle, the guy put his finger there, and that proves the Earth is flat. Thank you. I'm a flat earther now. I can make up shit and say some really bollocks like the.
No, we don't want you on
What are we making up?
We don't want you on our team. So, have you gotten a picture yet?
Well,
you got that,
it looks like
that photo yet?
It looks like
hey, that's a shill. What do you think would happen if you went to a cake baking competition, right? And they asked you about what ingredients you're going to put in the cake, and you told them, I don't know. What do you think they would tell you?
Oh, I see. So this is like baking cakes? It's sort of like baking
yeah, kind of like, yeah. You came to a discussion about the flat Earth, and you have no clue about your model, about NASA, about ISS, about
I want to know about the flat Earth, though. I don't want to talk about the globe. You guys want to talk about flat Earth for a while?
Yeah, we will. We will. Bring up that photo, please.
Okay.
Yeah, you're supposed to be debunking Ranty's pictures and showing us how he proved the globe with every picture.
Oh, he does. He showed
Yeah, don't describe it. Listen, stop. Don't describe it. Show us this picture.
Oh, you haven't seen one of Ranty's pictures, huh?
No, you have made a claim. It's not my problem. I don't have a problem here.
Oh, you have a problem because you proved the globe, I see.
We're all waiting patiently. We're waiting patiently. Listen, those NASA computers must be pretty slow. I mean, come on, you must have an image now.
They're 1950s technology. We don't have the parts to fix them anymore.
It's the encryption. They have 128-bit encryption.
Yeah.
What's interesting is he's mocking his own model at the same time as realizing that he doesn't actually have a model himself and doesn't have any information.
We're making shit up,
yeah.
I want the flat Earth model though. I don't know what that looks like. One of your main.
You're walking around on it.
No, I'm not. I'm walking around on the globe. I can prove that. If you guys want to do some experiments, you can actually prove it. But you don't want to.
Oh shit, I missed a super chat earlier. Sorry, insanity is sanity. I tried to have a beer on me, mate, referring to the name Ranty as the show channel. Thank you very much, Insanity is sanity. I appreciate it. Thanks, man.
Does it require us to now go out and do research to prove the globe?
It requires you to go out
even though apparently 500 years ago or something it was proved to be a globe, but now we need to go out and prove it.
Well, I thought you guys were big on doing your own research.
Yeah, but you've just told us that you're going to show us how it was a globe and then asked us to do experiments. Wait a minute. You just told. Hang on, wait a minute. You just said
do your own experiments. Isn't that the flat
dude,
Earth?
why do you keep over talking me? It's like it's not a kindergarten.
You're trying to distract from the point that you guys say do your own.
No,
research.
I'm pulling you back to your point, which was that you said that you were going to prove the globe by having us do experiments.
Yeah, you can prove it yourself. I thought that was the flat Earth.
Well, is there nothing out there that we can go and sort of like look up?
Yeah, you could like take 3 sticks on the same thing on the same line of longitude.
Sticks.
And then sticks and shadows.
Sticks and
Sticks and shadows.
Sticks prove the globe, right?
Yep.
Heard it all.
Shadows do.
Hey, what's your major assumption in that sticks in the grounds paid NASA show?
Assumption. You have to. There is no assumption because you have one of two choices: either the sun is in more than one place at one time, or the Earth is curved. Take your choice.
No assumptions now, huh?
No.
No assumptions. You don't have to assume.
Walk us through that, right? Okay, give us the measurements for each of those sticks. Right? Go ahead.
Well, I told you have to do it yourself.
No. We've already addressed the logic of these arguments. Okay, so give us again. Listen. Again, Ranty called you out on it. You said you were going to prove the globe. Okay, so now you've brought up
Your own
Eratosthenes.
research time. That said, you can prove the globe. You can prove the globe to yourself.
Okay, if you're gonna keep reversing the burden, then just go on mute.
This isn't a burden. You said you wanted.
Yes.
You said you wanted.
No. I didn't say anything.
Do your own research. This is do your own research.
I didn't say.
You are reversing the burden, my friend, and I have to say this. This is what you've brought today is pathetic, and I'm ashamed to say that you are representing the globe right now. Surely there must be somebody out there that can join the panel and take this guy's place, because this guy's just falling on his arse right now.
Yeah, Rumpus, Ruhif, you guys got to get in here and back this guy up. He's not cutting the mustard, man.
Oh, no, that's fine. I don't care. They don't have to cook me.
Do you have that picture yet, Paid? You have that picture yet?
I'm telling you, the computers are really slow. I'm sorry. And then the RANTY file is often the pseudoscience computer, which isn't really a computer. You know, it's like a big drawers full of stuff because we can't store it on computers.
Brandon, please. Put us out of this misery.
No.
Yes. I second that motion.
In the meantime, I thought it was big on do your own research time here.
This is like the scene. This is like the scene in Gladiator when the emperor was putting his thumb, up or down. Which way is it going to go, up or down?
So, do you have a picture or not? Do you want to look at any evidence? Do you have a shred of anything to look at, Paid NASA Shill, or can we move on from you and just consider you, immaterial?
Okay.
Irrelevant.
Irrelevant, huh? Oh, okay. You can do whatever you want because, you basically are irrelevant.
Okay, go on mute, please. Yeah, thank you. Go on mute.
You couldn't even bring up a picture. You couldn't back up one single claim you made. You couldn't describe this experiment you think proves the globe. You couldn't show us your data. All you can do is make snarky comments and talk about sticks in the ground. That's it.
Sticks in the ground would prove the Earth is round if you would do it.
Okay, sure. You don't even know what your assumptions are. We've bashed you with that multiple times.
You can make one of two. You can do one of two things: either the sun is in three places at one time, or the Earth is round.
Sure, buddy. Okay.
I'll do the experiment. Do it.
You show us your experimental results and how you got to the result. Show us a picture. Show us anything.
Prove me wrong.
You're just a shit talking time waster. That's all you are.
Prove me wrong.
He is, Brand.
All right, let's move on to something different here. Oh, did you have something, Ranty?
If the sun was in three different places, that's what you would expect to see off a reflect. If you try to triangulate a reflection, just to say.
Oh, so the sun's in three different places now.
Or
if it was a
focal point.
Have you ever tried to triangulate something off a reflection?
The sun's a reflection now off of what?
I'm just saying, have you ever tried to? You're assuming it's not.
Answer his question. Have you ever tried to do that?
I can't say I have. Why? Why would you want to do that, Bill? So you're saying the sun's not a real thing? It's not a real thing?
Have you ever triangulated any polarized light?
Have I what?
Can I ask you? Hold on. Please let me ask this guy a question. So when you see the sun, you see the sun, right? Yeah.
Yes.
So you look at the sun at midday, you see the sun. You're looking at the sun, right?
Yeah.
When you look at it at 4 p.m., you're looking at the sun, right? The sun is the sun. It's the real thing. Yeah.
Okay,
when you're looking at, I don't know, sunset, you're looking at the sun. The sun is the real sun. You're looking at the sun. Yeah.
Okay.
No. Okay. Yes or no.
Well, you tell me, is the sun a real thing or not? I think
no.
it's a real thing.
This is your model we're talking about.
So is the sun a real thing or not?
No. When we are supposedly looking at the object we class as the sun. So when we look at the sun during at midday, we look up at the sun and we see a round object that's bright. Is that the sun we are looking at?
Yes.
And then when we look at it at 4 o'clock, is it the sun we are looking at?
Yes.
And at sunset, is it the sun we are looking at?
Yes.
No.
Yes. What is
no, not in your model, you numpty. In your model, the sun has already set, and what you are seeing at sunset is the reflection or the refraction of the sun. So you're not actually looking at the sun, are you?
Objection.
You're looking at the sun.
Objection.
What's up, Carlos?
Finally, we got somebody in.
experiment is done at noon, so you don't have to worry about refraction.
Smashed. And you didn't even realize it.
Carlos, he needs your help, bro.
Objection, Your Honor. You're looking at the real object. So what's refracted?
Objection, moderator.
You're looking at
This guy just told us that we watched the sun the entire time and didn't realize that we were looking at sunset. He didn't even understand this.
Ranty.
This guy's a retard.
You're a retard, Ranty.
Ranty.
Same thing you used
What am I asking you about?
Ranty, the way you formulated the question was perhaps deceiving. If you were to ask if, well, I'm just saying, if you we're not asking whether what we're seeing is the sun or not. You're really asking whether the location of the sun coincides with the direction we're looking at the sun. So the question should be.
Horizon disproves
okay, you know what? Never mind. You go ahead and murder yourself.
No, Carlos is right. Hey, Carlos is right, y'all. Carlos is right because we're supposed to have formulated it 8 minutes in the past, also. So when you see an eclipse, the moon, the moon goes in front of it or whatever. But everything happened 8 minutes ago because the sun's so far away.
Well, that's not what I'm saying.
Anyway, and no matter what you say no matter what you say on your model, the sun ain't the sun that you're looking at. They explain that shit away.
Correct. Everything we see is refracted to a sense. So
if the sun blows up, Carlos will still get 8 more minutes of suntan, according to his model.
It's fun playing with these guys.
Yeah, and that's not what I'm arguing though. But yeah, sure. That would be correct, regarding the speed of light.
If you really want.
That would explain crepuscular rays, the way they look a little bit late.
Hey, can I just ask for some more likes on the actual stream right now? We're at 34. Come on, guys, let's get to 50. This is Brandon's third show. At least get to 50. Come on, guys, you can do this. It's a great stream. It really is. It's the death of the globe right now. We're killing them.
Yeah, for real, guys. Come on.
This guy, I mean, come on, bring somebody in. Rue here. Professor Phil, why don't you bring your proof? Jump on right now. Come on.
He said he might come in later, or at least he said he would post the photos later. So we'll see if that happens. That would be cool because Peyton Asashil is drowning, and he's pushing back the help from his backup here.
Don't need backup.
He's been drowned 6 times and revived twice.
The funny thing is he thinks the 8 light minutes disproves something. That's funny.
Oh, is that funny? What's funny is you can't come up with a single decent argument or a shred of evidence to provide.
Several. He just won't do them.
All right.
Refused to do the Eratosthenes experiment.
Yeah. Okay. That's what's going on here.
How about Bob Noodle and his gyro? That doesn't prove anything either, I suppose, right?
No, it doesn't actually.
Actually, Bob readdressed that actually, and that clip was taken out of context. So you really have to do your research.
Away. I mean,
because you've got just because you've got a clip.
Hey, Ranty. So how was it taken out of context?
Why is it that I try speaking and they get talked over? I mean, come on, guys. Literally, the guy.
Sorry, Ranty.
The guy has a soundbite, and you guys think it's the truth, and you want to rely on that as a truth, and you want to push it as truth, and you will say it a million times to make it believed to be the truth.
Kind of like Don't Pet It, and Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Hang on, did I not?
Did Eratosthenes calculate the leap year?
Huh?
Well, we have 3.
I'm just going to go on mute because I'm just getting talked over. So
yeah,
you guys have fun.
Sorry, Randy.
Eratosthenes, did he calculate the leap year? When did we start calculating that?
The what?
He went a year
can we go
later.
back about how we took a soundbite from somebody and it doesn't make it true, and in fact you guys do the same thing, taking soundbites from Neil deGrasse Tyson, Don Pettit, and multiple people, and then go from that. And that irony.
Okay. Well, I do have, as much fun as that was, I do have an observation to look at, and I kind of agree with you on the soundbite thing, to be honest, Carlos. Both sides do that with the soundbites.
Thank you, sir.
Yep. You got it there. Remember that. Well,
the difference is, though, Neil deGrasse Tyson, we have his in whole context. And
No. It's okay. We can move on.
He's sitting there making lectures, and we have the whole context in what he's saying.
That is true. I mean, it's not like we just snipped that little bit out that he was saying offhandedly. He was in an interview in that case, Carlos. Jeremy's right.
And also, I want to say that at least with Bob, when he did his gyroscope thing, he was originally confused, and that's what he was saying. He was saying, if this is this, then this is that. And he was originally confused. But then with further research, he found out actually it was a flat Earth proof. And he went into great detail and did he put all the information out there to show that what he originally first thought was not true, and that he was able to falsify that and prove this. And what you guys have done is gone back to the original quote and keep repeating that because you're dishonest. You do not go back to his further research down the line, which proved what he was trying to prove all along, which that it didn't show what it was supposed to. So you just don't, you literally take something and you manipulate it and you try to present it as being the truth without actually following it up and being honest about what actually transpired after that. It was his thought process at the time that they jumped all over and obviously released it because it's a great soundbite. And of course, the Globe has jumped all over that. But his research after that actually backed him up. But you don't talk about that. And that's the dishonest part of this. And this is why this debate isn't as clear as it should be. It should be very honest. It should be people from one side saying, this is the truth, what we know, and we accept your truth from what you know. And what you may have believed a year ago, what you believe right now is different. That's fine, because that's exactly what happened with Bob. At one point, he was confused about what was going on with that equipment. And then when he actually figured it all out and puts that new information out, you don't acknowledge that. You go back to the old stuff. And that's dishonest. And that's what I have a problem with.
Yeah, fair enough, Ranty. That does make sense. We don't get anywhere by just throwing sound bites or gotchas at each other. That's for sure.
Well, also, what's to stop us from just disowning Bob Nodell like you guys do with Neil deGrasse Tyson, Bill Nye, and all them?
Yeah, right. I think Carlos is gone. He had to drop off or whatever. Okay, I do want to share an observation that I came across today by Taboo Conspiracy. He's got a new channel out there, but the observation was from somebody else. So you'll find a Taboo Conspiracy video. But
Hold on, what do you mean a new channel? What's happened to his original channel?
Oh, his Taboo Conspiracy 2 got canned like a month or two ago.
Really?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god, I didn't know that. What's his new channel? Please, listen, whatever you tell
Taboo
us now.
Conspiracy 3, pretty sure.
Is it really Taboo Conspiracy 3?
It's named Taboo Conspiracy, but it's called Taboo Conspiracy 3. Yeah, and his latest video is called Engineer Proves Flat Earth.
Okay, listen, how many subscribers does he have right now?
3.57 thousand.
Right, okay. Please, everybody, if you want, if you can at least, go and subscribe to Taboo Conspiracy 3. Please go and search that dude out right now. Subscribe to him and let's get it back up to the way he is. If somebody can find the link and post it, great. But this is the censorship that we need to fight back against. Somebody started over again. It's a hit in the gut. I tell you, when you lose your channel, it hurts like shit. And this guy's put a lot of work out there. He's really pushed the movement forward. His work on the South Pole, going to the South Pole and all that kind of the Antarctica stuff, just fantastic. You need to support this guy. He's got 3.57 subs now. Please, I hope people will listen to this and get him to 4,000 subs. He needs it because this guy was at 14,000 subs, right? Yeah, before.
Oh, he had a big channel. Yeah, it might have been more than that. Yeah.
Yeah, come on, guys. This is what happens to truthers, right? So we need to.
Can I just point out, along the lines of this discussion about his channel and it being shut down, anybody who is on here, whether you're a glober or a flat earther, if you are intellectually honest and are looking for what the truth is of our reality, you should not be agreeing with YouTube shutting down a channel because this guy has a different idea about what Earth might be. Okay? You should not be going along with that or rah-rahing that in any way. That he gets his channel shut down because he has posted videos that have a different idea than what you have. Okay? Unless that idea is like literally inciting violence, then what is your excuse for thinking that it's okay for them to just do this to this guy who has done seemingly nothing wrong with his channel? He doesn't incite violence.
None of us do. None of us do. In fact,
right.
If you look at all the channels that have been lost in the past, I lost a channel in the past. What can I say? But when you start talking about truth and it goes against the mainstream, they essentially can do what the hell they want. It's their platform at the end of the day. So this is the third time this guy's had to try and drag himself up off the floor. And trust me, when you lose a channel, it feels like your insides have been ripped out. And I swear, because you've put a lot of effort into this, it's a very passionate thing that you've done. It becomes a part of you. And when somebody else takes that away, and it's very unfair, and you have to start off again, it really is like somebody's kicked you in the guts. So anybody that's subscribed, I thank you very much, because you need to be backing this guy. You need to be backing Brandon too. What can I say? Brandon's ace.
Yeah, I just went and subscribed to his alt channel. I was already subscribed to him, but this guy's gonna end up having more YouTube channels than Rambo movies.
Yeah. Well, maybe.
Yeah, he's lost it a couple times. I mean, yeah, it's a big hit, obviously, to do all that work and then lose it just for what you think you're doing is telling the truth.
We should be on a platform that doesn't. We should be on a platform that doesn't censor you. I mean, I know YouTube's like the main thing, but there's got to be other streaming sites where we could be on now.
And things like. Listen, can I take this opportunity right now? Listen, because me and Brandon were talking about this before, but Brandon does have his own quote unquote original channel called Brandon Toy. That's BRANDON, Brandon Toy, TOY. Please go and subscribe to that, because that will be Brandon's backup channel in case this one gets taken away. We don't know what's going to happen. It's happened to Taboo Conspiracy. What's he done? He's, it's not like this place where it's effing and jeffing all the time. At least on his, there was no effing and jeffing over there. It was just putting videos out. So this is a very, this is a channel that could be lost at any moment in time. So please, if you get the opportunity, go and subscribe to Brandon Toy's backup channel. Get him to 1,000 subscribers, at least let him get him to those, and he can start streaming from there if this ever gets struck, so at least that you can still keep the show on the road. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, appreciate that, Randy.
There's really no other media platforms that we could do our thing on where they don't censor you.
There are, but there's not a lot of viewers on there. That's the problem. This is where everybody's at. Yeah. This is where everybody's used to going. And switching over is pretty tough. Now, it seems like some people have had a lot of success with DLive. And they're starting to open up in other places where they're having more success, but they're all still building up.
I've been seeing flat Earth content on TikTok.
That'd be cool. TikTok.
I'm not even joking. I see shit on there all the time.
How many subs do you have on your backup channel on YouTube, Brandon, right now?
432.
432. Can we get it to 450 at least today? And then every single day, if you want to talk about that, hopefully we can push it to 1,000. That would be pretty cool. But if not, it is what it is. But this channel is very susceptible for the same sort of censorship that we're seeing, all over this kind of topic. If you're a flat earther out there and you really want to support this kind of content creation where we talk about things, where we bring globe earthers in, we bring paid NASA shill in here to make a complete ass of himself, which he did tonight. Well done. If you want that kind of content, then if this gets struck down, at least you got it on Brandon Toy's backup channel, which can be called, I'm sure it's going to be called Brandon 2, is it? Maybe. so at least people.
It's called Brandon Toy. If you just YouTube search Brandon Toy, his will pop up. But Brandon, you should post the links in Discord and in the YouTube live chat.
Yeah, I put it in there already.
Right, okay, so that's my shilling done for your other channel.
All right. Thank you. Yeah, Ranty's always a good salesman. Thanks, Ranty.
I could sell last to the Eskimos.
You could. I think you missed your calling. I really do. Okay, so this footage that's on Taboo Conspiracy's channel is from a guy named Pablo's Dog. Pablo's Dog only has 242 subscribers. So you can check his out. But he's been doing some first-hand observations, it looks like. And I was watching this.
What's this guy's? Can you spell that, his channel?
Yeah, it's Pablo's Dog. PABLOSDOG, all one word.
All right.
And I'll put the link in the chats. And you can go ahead and check that out. Pablo's Dog. But he's got some good footage. And evidently this guy's an engineer based on what Taboo Conspiracy says. But he's got these platforms from 13.1 miles away. And the globe horizon should be at 8.2 miles. Now, the interesting thing about these observations are, this is at a camera height of 45 feet. So this isn't right down 1 foot or 3 feet or 5 feet from the shore. Now, obviously, you're still seeing some large atmospheric effects, but this is a long way to look. And you obviously see the horizon behind these oil rigs. You guys see that in Discord? Let me play that one more time. So I thought this was interesting. Go and check this out. And one thing I did notice too is, Travis, you probably pick up on this. Look at the slant of the water. How it looks like there's depth to the distance that the water goes. It actually looks like a really clear day. Like the really calm day from what it looks like in here. Although it looks foggy. But we don't see that ramping up that we see, that we've named proximate looming, where the water looks like it ramps up and there's not very much depth to it. This looks like more of a natural slope to the water that goes off in the distance. I would say this looks like, it looks natural. But obviously the horizon is behind the oil rigs. And I'm trying to get him to come on here and talk to us about this.
That's the oil rig?
Yeah.
That's the oil rig, the Black Swan location?
I think it is in the same area as the Black Swan, yeah.
That doesn't look like fog to me. That just looks like the angle of the light. The objects are not being lit up by the sun.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, you could be right. There's definitely some compression going on here. We can still see the horizon behind it.
I wasn't able to look at it till just now, but from what I've said recently on my show, I would consider that what would be called looming. So that's almost like the Black Swan conditions. Because you're going to get that compression, you're going to get that distortion in the object, and you're going to get the distance. So
you think this is looming from behind?
No. I don't think that it's behind anything, but it's the same phenomenon, right? So looming is just simply seeing farther than other conditions allow. So if you have proximate looming, you're not going to see that far. But the conditions are what limit your ability to see farther. Now, when you do see farther in these images, you are going to see similar effects, and that is the distortion and compression of, say, a ship or an oil platform or whatever the object is that's on the water, plus you're going to see a farther distance. So there's no other term that I know of, so sinking, I have reclassified as proximate looming, and I can argue why that's a fact. But for looming, I don't know another way of calling that, but it's the same idea. We're seeing farther than normal.
Yeah, I thought we're seeing farther than normal just because of the clarity of the day. We're just seeing that far. It allows us to see further. The visibility is better. But you think there's some kind of refractive effect that allows that to happen?
I think what we should do as flat earthers is perhaps get together some of the people that do these observations over distance, and we'll come together and talk about what the globe earther has put to one side and said, this is looming, this is sinking, this is this is this, and let's reclassify it in a different way. Because I think what Travis is trying to say here is that they're trying to confuse us with the jargon, with the words that they're trying to use in the globe, and we're trying to talk to them on their level with their words. But their words are confusing. We need to be talking as flat earthers here and say, this is what we see as looming, and this is what we believe looming is, not what your idea of looming is.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea, because when you use words like looming, just like what happened when you said that to me, Travis, I immediately thought, oh, looming means it's rising up from behind the Earth curve, like the ballers say. Yeah, I think that's a good suggestion. But yeah, this footage was pretty cool, and Taboo Conspiracy goes into some more detail about what's out there. And I know it looks like Pablo's dog has been going there on multiple occasions and capturing this viewpoint.
Look in his description to see if he gives you where he's shooting.
It is in Taboo Conspiracy's video. I don't know if it's in the description of this video, but he had all that information in Taboo Conspiracy. So let me see if he's got it in here. No, he doesn't have anything in at least this video.
Have you thought about getting Taboo Conspiracy to come on the show?
No, I didn't ask Taboo Conspiracy, but I did ask this Pablo's dog to come on and show us. I haven't heard back from him yet, but hopefully I'll be able to get him on. I can try to get Taboo Conspiracy on too. That'd be cool.
That really would be cool. I got what's it called? Martin Leakby on. When Martin Leakby, who's making that noise?
Is that me? Am I on mute?
No. There we go. Right, that was just it was crazy screeching that was going on then. Yeah, when Martin lost his channel, we essentially did a tweetathon, do you remember? And that was actually successful.
Oh, yeah.
So here's the script. So Martin Leakby had his, he stupidly responded to an email and gave his password and email details to a hacker voluntarily, because he thought he was responding to YouTube. Unfortunately, it was a fake email, and he fell for it, and they stole essentially his main channel, which had like 30,000 subscribers, and started putting all these, weird videos on from China or something.
Oh my God.
So he had, no backup channel, nothing, there was nothing there. So he started off, so I literally helped him through that. And what happened was he started off a couple of new channels, and we appealed his wrongful steal of his main channel, and they refused it originally. And then we did a tweetathon on this channel, and we got everybody to, that was participating in the show to go over and tweet at, YouTube, hey, this channel's been stolen, you should be looking into this, blah blah blah. Literally just blanketed their Twitter with this information. And cut a long story short, he got his channel back. So he actually was able to do something that not many people have been able to do, and was able to get his channel back. So now I think he has like 3 different channels, like a Flat Earth British and a different one and another one, Martin Leakby. But he got it back, and obviously he lost some subscribers in that time, because people were just like, every 2 minutes there was a different video popping up, because they had this power, like a power, what's it called, power upload or something of like hour-long videos that was going up every 2 minutes, and people were just like, this isn't Martin Leakby, what's going on here? So they were unsubscribing because they was getting all these, notifications. And I think he lost like 12,000 subscribers, but then he got them all back, obviously, in time. But he came on this channel, so he came on this channel when that happened, and it would be really cool if we could get Taboo Conspiracy to come back on as well, and perhaps, you know, put that information out there, because this, you know, over time, you know, these videos get 1,500 views, and that could be a potential other 1,500 subscribers. You know, let's say 500. So it's worth getting him on, because he needs to get his channel back. He needs to start over.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll reach out to him. And see if he wants to come on the show, talk about what he's been doing lately and losing his channel and building it back up and all that.
Well, it's a friendly channel. You know, this is a friendly channel. I mean, this is. I didn't even know that he'd lost his channel. I mean, that's how out of the game I've been recently. But you know, I mean, I knew when he lost his first channel, it was a big blow. But losing that second channel, he had nothing out there that was worthy of losing the channel. I just don't understand it. You know, he played the sort of like the middle ground. He was never. Obviously, he was saying the truth, but he wasn't. You know, he wasn't an Alex Jones or something.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Anyway, can we get 50 likes? Can we get 50 likes? Come on, we're on 47. Let's get 50 likes. Come on, guys. There we go.
So this is a pretty interesting picture. So go check out Engineer Proves Flat Earth from Taboo Conspiracy. And the stuff from Pablo's dog. Good stuff. Maybe we can glean something from that and have them both on the show. I see.
I went and subscribe.
Okay.
I went and subscribed to Pablo's dog too. Everyone goes, you know, sub to that guy if he's out there doing stuff.
Yeah, he's active out there. You know, he needs to be encouraged to do that. I think when he says in this video, Taboo Conspiracy, that when he put this out, Pablo's dog had 3 subscribers. Now he's got like 250. So that's cool.
I think the pronunciation might be Pavlov's dog, and I'm not sure if you're familiar with the story of Dr. Pavlov.
No, I am, but it clearly says Pablo's.
Oh, okay, my bad.
Yeah, there's a B, Jimbo. I see that we had Gleam join the panel. What's up, Gleam? Oh, he's got his headphones on. Damn. All right, well, if you're listening out there on YouTube, Gleam, hop in, man. Well, let's see who else joined.
Hey, let me say something real quick. For anybody out there who doesn't know how to, to hit the like if you don't see where to hit it, just in case you're seeing chat, there's an X right there in the middle right screen. Hit the X, and that'll put you to a place where you can hit thumbs up or thumbs down. So, just in case anybody doesn't know how to hit the like button, you got to hit the X to disable the chat, and then it gives you the option to thumbs up or thumbs down. And get them up to 50 likes, y'all.
Yeah, so just to let you know, it does look like, unless I miss you guys saying this, he is in the Santa Barbara area.
Yeah, these are the same ones. This you can see Platform Hill House, and he says them all in here. Evidently, this guy who's doing this is a engineer, and he's taking pictures. He has some surfer forum. I don't know what this is all about. If it's Flat Earth related or what, as a surfer forum.
Oh my God, I gotta get the mooch.
Yeah, I don't know what they're doing. This looks anti-Flat Earth, the surfer forum, but who knows what's going on.
Is this Pablo's dog guy? Is he a flat earther? Or?
I have no idea.
I thought he was a flat earther.
I think he is, but he's taking footage.
That's the guy from Taboo Conspiracy's video. I think he says that he is a flat earther. He's he's some sort of engineer manager or something like that. If it's the same guy I'm thinking of.
Oh yeah, he did say that. You're right. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, he's a flat earther. So yeah, I don't know what's going on at this surfer forum. Looks like they're talking about flat Earth quite a bit, but interesting stuff. He linked that in the description too. Yeah, I'm hoping Glean will come on. I want to talk to him about that trigonometry stuff if he's out there. But go ahead. Who was talking?
Here's the thing. So I don't want to say this as many times as is needed to get through to people, but if this image is a true representation of... Is that you, Brandon? Have you got your...
Yeah, sorry, I just muted. Yep.
Right. So if this is a true image of the supposed globe, right, where we are looking at all these platforms exactly as they are now, which is defying the curvature of the Earth, Essentially, what you've got to believe as a globe earther is that gravity had a day off. And I'll explain that in a bit, because if gravity had a day off, it would create a flat surface. But at the same time, everybody would be fucked off into space, right? Simple as that. Because you can't have this image on a globe. It's impossible. You just can't have it. And, you know, we've talked about this before, especially in this location. And in fact, all these locations if you look in the topography of the land underneath these regions of water, these bodies of water, you'll see that the land is very, well, it's not very slopey, it's very flat underneath the water. But we're supposed to believe that the water is being pulled to the center of the earth, in other words, pulling it into a sphere, right? So you can't get these images on a globe. Doesn't matter if if you're on a globe and it's flat underneath, it won't make a difference. But the fact that it's flat underneath means that there's something else going on, which means that you need to look into fluid dynamics. And if you look at fluid dynamics, you'll realize that in these places where the topography of the land underneath the water is relatively flat, then you're going to get a relatively flat ocean, right? And that defies the globe model. It's as simple as that. It really is.
Well, in order to believe that this something like this can take place on a globe, first of all, you have to believe that what you're looking at is not a true representation of how we should see the world. That somehow refraction or whatever else is going on in the atmosphere is lifting this up so that it looks like a flat Earth. Because when you look at this, it looks natural, it looks flat. The horizon's behind it. It matches the mathematics. Everything matches what I would expect to see on a flat plane, a level body of water looking in a distance on a clear day.
Well, after your calculations last night, it's pretty clear we're seeing way too far.
Absolutely. We're definitely seeing too far. And I see Gleam is back now. What's up, Gleam? You there?
Unless one of these guys comes in thinking you should be able to see forever. We got those people too. Don't forget about them.
Those that can see your ass in a telescope. Come on, we could see forever.
Let me just ask real quick. So, we're looking at 13 miles and a hidden feet of 15 feet. Okay, then that's at 45 feet elevation. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, it's 45-foot elevation.
Okay.
And 14.6 miles to the one on the left, and 13 to 14 miles for the rest of them.
Yeah, I'll have to make contact with this guy because I'm going to be in California at the end of January, and I was going to go back up there again. So.
Oh, that'd be fantastic. Get you guys together out there doing some observations. Even having the two of you on to talk about his observations and your observations would be great. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, reach out to him. He's out there on his channel, so he's just getting pulled into the community. See if you can hook something up, Travis. That'd be great. Speaking of hooking something up, you had a conversation with Heath Carmody a couple weeks ago. Is he back, or was that just a one-off thing?
No, it was a one-off thing because last week you asked me if I had heard anything from him, so you reminded me that I hadn't talked to him in a while. So then I just Skyped him and said, hey, are you going to be around? Because I wanted to talk to him about both Pebbles footage and something else that I was thinking about. So then he and I just did a Skype chat, and then I put that up on my channel. So that was just, I think, 1 week ago.
Yeah, I forgot to listen to that. I've got to go back and listen to that because Heath has done some fantastic work, and I think it's still all off of the YouTube, isn't it? He's still got it all hidden.
Yeah, he just set it. He set it all to private, and pretty sure I recorded the entire thing. So in the, he said something about maybe coming back in the new year. I can't remember what exactly he said.
Yeah. Let's just big this up a little bit. So Heath is he does a lot of work on modeling and things like this. So his I've watched a lot of his stuff actually, and he's very underrepresented. He doesn't have a lot of followers. Essentially, people for whatever reason have been either algorithmed out of it so that they can't find him, or not a lot of people have actually stood up and said, "Hey, you need to subscribe to this guy," because he has a great work ethic for flat Earth. And what can I say? His work is very good. How many subscribers does he have? It's not very many, is it?
No, it's 300 or so.
Yeah, considering the amount of work that he's put into this. If you look at some of the flat earthers out there that have put minimal effort into this, that have like a few hundred subscribers, and you actually compare it to his actual work that he's put into this. He's put thousands, I would imagine, at least thousands of hours into this kind of research, and it's really, really good. And he only has like 300 or 400 subscribers. He's another guy that I would absolutely implore everybody right now to go and subscribe to.
Yeah, unfortunately, there's nothing to watch out on his channel right now, because he's got it all private. But he was doing some videos where he had multiple cameras at different height across this, I think it was a lake, and caught some fantastic stuff. In fact, I downloaded some of his stuff to my hard drive because I thought it was so good. I might have to bring that up one of these nights. But I just put his link in chat so when he comes back on, people can subscribe to him. But if you like the long-range observations and the optics, Heath was doing excellent work.
There are so many great flat Earth channels out there. There are so many. People. I don't think people understand how difficult it is to get to 500 subscribers. Especially in this niche. This niche is so tight and so tightly regulated by the, let's say, powers that be that suppress the new flat earthers out there. As soon as you tag your channel as a flat Earth channel, you ain't gonna get recommended to anybody. So it's all word of mouth. It's all people saying, "Oh, you need to subscribe." To get one subscriber means a lot to a lot of people, because every day you wake up and you go to your YouTube channel and you check your channel and you see you've got a new subscriber, and you know something, that one subscriber keeps you going, right? And you might only get 2 or 3 subscribers every week, but it means a lot. It really does. I've been there, and I know that that's how I felt. So all these channels out there, if you're watching a video on a flat Earth channel and you've seen that somebody is at least trying to put some information out there, and at least putting the head up and saying, "I'm a flat earther and I'm trying to put information out," subscribe to them. It doesn't take a lot. Just hit that subscribe button, give them that little boost that they need, right? Because everybody needs it, right? Trust me, everybody needs it. In this area that we are in, it's easy for globe earthers. They can just attract people left, right, and center. But as a flat earther, to get a subscriber, it means a lot. So do it. Hit that subscribe button.
Yep, absolutely well said. Okay, I came across an article today called 8 History-Making Space Stories of 2020. And I thought we'd take a look at it. Oh, hold on, just one.
Well, in case we got some dead air there, I will say, listen, I'm just saying it as it is, guys, for you guys to know. You see a flat Earth video, hit the subscribe button. It's great. Give that guy a boost. That's what I'm trying to say. Hello. Who's back? You robot in there, Brandon, my friend. You're roboting. You're a bit low.
All right, hold on just 1 second, okay? 1 second. Oh, I think the audience can hear me. Can you guys hear me in the Discord now? Hello.
I can hear you.
You can hear me, Bob? I sound okay to you?
I can hear you.
Bob, did you have to say that? That would have been funny
you
if
assholes. Here, I was trying to be nice and save you from the screaming in the background. All right.
What is that screaming in the background? It sounds like you're in a swimming pool or something.
Oh, my niece is down, and I don't know why, but tonight they're like running around and excited, and keep having to tell them to be quiet. But that's okay. It's nice to have kids in the house. Hopefully it doesn't come through too much. There is an article named 8 History-Making Space Stories of 2020, and I thought we would take a look at this and see what they thought the big things were from NASA's point of view for 2020, and see if you guys are familiar with any of these. And if we can learn anything. Let's take a look at what the other side of the coin thinks are the most important stories of 2020 from a globe Earth mindset. So we'll just go through them. The first one is phosphine in Venus atmosphere. Anybody familiar with this one? They've got this wonderful picture. Is this supposed to be Venus?
Yeah, those guys had boners all day when this article came out.
Just that phosphines are poisonous phosphorus gas.
This says it's an image of Venus shows its clouds where researchers detected the chemical phosphine. What is phosphine? I'm not even familiar with what that is.
It's supposed to be a gas that only life gives off or something. I forgot the exact details of it.
Yeah, it's phosphorus with a bit of organic mixed together.
I mean, is it just me, or does this look like it's just a cropped out piece of another picture? Is this supposed to be actual Venus?
No, if you look at the Terminator line, it's not even in a proper curve. If you look at it, it's very jaggedy.
Yeah,
and look at the left hand side. Sort of like go to 7 o'clock. So if you went to 7 o'clock, you would see for sure that it's not what it portrays it to be.
It is, yeah. It's all jagged, like they covered something. And that's what it looks like to me. It looks like they just put like a plate, like we think they did with the. Yeah,
it's a fingernail. Mate. It's the end of a fingernail.
Why is this photograph supposed to be again?
This is supposed to be Venus. This is Venus with phosphine in Venus's atmosphere. Supposedly, this is one of the big stories. Let's see, what was the big deal about this? As far as scientists know, you need something living in order to produce any significant amount of phosphine, making the chemical's detection a compelling argument for the possibility of life in Venus's atmosphere. And how did they supposedly detect phosphine? Anybody know how?
That would have to be by what they call nuclear magnetic resonance atomic absorption spectronomy or spectroscopy, which is bullshit.
Spectroscopy.
Yeah.
Is this the place? Is this
not just any spectroscopy? They have to resonate the atom at an atomic level and then let it discharge and then measure the discharge. You can do it locally. You can't do it 1 billion miles away or 90 million miles away or however far.
Why can't you do it that far away? How come you can't do it that far away?
Because how do you resonate? And see, on Earth we do it with what we call a beam chopper. We put a sample in a little vessel, and a light goes through, a special light, and it excites what's in the sample. And then what they call a beam chopper interrupts the light, allowing what's in the sample time to decay or lose the energy it was given, and then go back to a static state. When it does, it gives off a color spectrum locally in front of our machines and our little light sources and our prisms and stuff. And we get a color spectrum on a sensor, and we record it. And we can do that locally, excite an atom. But you're going to tell me that these people can excite atoms, beam chop, and detect the decay from thousands and millions of miles away? Who's kidding who?
Well,
the two
perhaps it's not the same method.
Well, here's the thing: we're joined by George Netchuk. Maybe he could answer that.
Numchuck.
About nuclear magnetic resonance atomic absorption spectroscopy. Take the floor, George. It's all yours.
Well, we'll let whoever answer, but I do want to point one thing out, that this may not have been the most exciting discovery, since it says one team of scientists analyzed the same spectra, so 2 teams looked at the same data, that Greaves' team looked at and found no evidence of phosphine. And then the team that made the initial discovery reanalyzed their data and found an error, leading them to conclude that, well, there still seems to be phosphine in the atmosphere. It exists at much lower levels. So I interpret all of that as bullshit. Sounds like bullshit to me. Anybody want to defend this phosphine
they're
detection?
Trying to say they found organophosphates in their samples and their imaging, and you need organophosphates for life. End of story. So it's just a propaganda.
Sounds like it.
Not interested in participating at this time. I'm eating a salad. Thanks.
Okay, enjoy your salad.
What kind of, is that salad of the word variety?
Chang 5's return to this number 2. Chang 5's return to and samples the moon. This was one of my favorite. The Chang 5 footage I thought was some of the most hilarious stuff I've seen all year. So this is the Chinese Chang 5. And who knows if these are supposed to be real images or if this was the artwork that they put out. There were some real images that we looked at on the show, which were pretty funny. But let's see. I think we're all familiar with this. They employed a robotic spacecraft to sample the moon's surface, which arrived back on Earth earlier this month. So this was just recent, and if you guys remember, we looked at Chang 5 footage. Any comment on Chang 5? Did that change anybody's mind about NASA and space travel and the shape of the Earth?
Nice rocks. I'm convinced they're on the moon.
Yeah, it's real convincing. This is the OSIRIS-REx samples an asteroid. This is a view of the spacecraft as it collected a sample from the asteroid Bennu. So they shot this little thing out. Who knows how many, I don't know how far away, millions, hundreds of thousands. I have no idea how far away this thing's supposed to be. Out to an asteroid and landed on the asteroid and sampled the rocks on it. And this is what we get back. Doesn't seem very exciting. Did that change anybody's mind?
What do you think it should look like to be exciting?
Well, I don't know. Let's see the full video of this thing landing on the asteroid. The asteroid's, it's coming up on the asteroid. It lands on the asteroid and then taking off from the asteroid.
How come it's not gold foil on that foot, on that little stand?
Maybe it's a monochromatic video or, black and white.
Maybe.
It's not shiny like gold foil.
So that's your argument. Why is
foil.
it not gold? You guys are a joke.
I'm being cynical, dumbass.
No crap.
Bennu's surface is extremely rocky, covered with huge boulders and not a lot of sand. Yeah, okay. You landed on an asteroid, sure. Hayabusa 2 asteroid sample falls back to Earth. This is story number 4. NASA's highlights of the year. That is a pretty cool picture, actually. OSIRIS-REx isn't the first mission to sample an asteroid, though. In fact, it will be the 3rd mission to return an asteroid sample to Earth. Does anybody think that these things are going all this way and landing on a rock that's shooting through space, picking up some samples, and then somehow making it back to Earth? Is anybody buying it?
Give me a break, we used to say.
That's kind of hard to believe, isn't it? The capsule containing samples of the asteroid re-entered the Earth's atmosphere and was recovered safely from the Australian outback on December 6th. Okay. First direct evidence of intermediate mass black holes. So this is supposedly an image from NASA simulation of spiraling black holes. 2 black holes like these may have merged to produce the first intermediate mass black hole scientists have directly observed.
It's not even a Picasso, is it?
What a contradiction. We need a simulation of something they have directly observed. Why can't they show us what they have directly observed so we can directly observe instead of seeing their simulation? So why do they say we've directly observed it, but here's your simulation?
Hey, what's even better, Jimbo? This is an image from the simulation. This is nothing. This is just some freaking art piece.
I'll pay money for that.
2 CD-ROMs fancified on acid. Spermatozoids and multicolored acid.
And then swirling black holes. I mean, come on, man. Give me a break. One way these colossal black holes could form is several black holes from a mid-sized category, an intermediate mass black hole merging together in the center of a galaxy. Okay, more science fiction.
Happens every day.
Damaged Arecibo radio telescope collapses. Well, that's kind of cool. Is there a video of that taking place? The Arecibo telescope, a radio telescope in Puerto Rico that was the second largest in the world, has long been a major tool in astronomy. Okay. Telescope couldn't be repaired safely and would be demolished. The cables broke. Is there a photo? Is there a video of this thing breaking and crushing itself? Because I would like to see that. Oh, cool. We got video of the tower collapse here, folks. This might be the most exciting thing from NASA all year. Here we go.
Well, what I would have done to time that is just put some etchant on the cables, set up the cameras, and wait for the action. This is no accident here. You didn't have the cameras set up to capture this by accident. This is a controlled demolition. It's engineered.
Wow, how big is that thing? It's hard to get an idea of the scale. I guess these are trees, right? Bam.
It wasn't just cameras, it was a drone.
Oh, they had a drone filming it? Footage from the 305 meter telescope. Right? This telescope was 305 meters.
It's almost 900 feet high.
Yeah.
Almost 1,000 feet.
That's freaking huge. Okay. Causing the instruments to come crashing down on the telescope's dome. It's too bad we can't see that part where it hits the dome. Alright, so Arecibo crumbled. That's pretty sweet. NASA and SpaceX launched first commercial spacecraft. Now this they were excited about, Jeremy. This they were talking about for weeks and having parties to watch this crap. Literally, yeah. They were having watch parties. SpaceX crewed Dragon spacecraft and Falcon 9 rocket as it was prepped for launch. Yeah. I don't think I can take SpaceX seriously after the whole Tesla in space crap. I mean, give me a break, man. This past year, yeah, Dragon, yeah, we've all seen that footage. And they took the Russians up there, right? All right. Big deal. Mars 2020 missions. Was there a Mars mission this year? Oh, they launched another Mars rover. So they got another remote control car on Mars, supposedly. Perseverance rover. The helicopter. Yeah, that's right. The helicopter on Mars. Uh-huh. So there's something else rolling around Greenland out there, or wherever the hell they're doing that. And that's it, guys. That's the big news for 2020 from NASA. What do you think? Did they
didn't grow any lettuce or no lettuce on ISS or potatoes or nothing?
No lettuce. Nope. They didn't return to the moon with a manned mission.
How about the big news? The big news was the discovery of the atmosphere stretching out past the moon.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they made a big
That
deal
was
about
big.
that one. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's funny. This one turned out to be bogus. This Venus atmosphere. I think this is my favorite just because of the picture and how ridiculous it is. Just looks like they put down like a blue plate or something and then blew smoke on it and masked it off the camera so that it would make this shape. And they're like, there we go. There's
That's
Venus.
what it looks like?
That's what it looks like to me, yeah.
Okay.
Does this look like a planet to you?
Sure.
Okay. Why do you think it looks
Why
like a
not?
planet?
Looks like Earth. Pictures of Earth. Cloud patterns.
I guess.
Yeah, yeah. That's good enough for me.
I mean,
I know. I love how you go. I love how you go for it. I guess to like this looks ridiculous. I mean, come on, man. Really? Just you're gonna look at the glance at something and it just says it looks ridiculous.
yeah, it does look
Therefore, it's
ridiculous.
incorrect and it's fake.
This looks ridiculous. I'm standing by my initial statement.
What should it look like? What should a photograph of a celestial object like that should look like then?
I don't know.
And you don't know. Then dang it, what is if you don't have idea anything to correlate with or contrast it with, then how the heck you
Not just the photo, the claim of
My goodness.
phosphine and the claim that there might be life. It's all to promote
no,
the
that's not what we're
basic
arguing.
idea.
Yeah,
On
your
the-
argument is that
all
any
that
answer is better than just saying I don't know, which is a stupid argument.
No. I don't know is great, but then you gotta sit here and say it looks ridiculous. That's two different things. I don't know.
Yeah,
and it
guess
looks
what?
ridiculous, two
Star
different
Trek
things.
looks ridiculous. And if I say Star Trek looks ridiculous and you say, oh, well, what should a spaceship look like? And I say, I don't know, it doesn't make Star Trek look any less ridiculous.
It looks fake, Carlos. It looks like a fake picture.
Okay, so what should it look like then if it was?
I don't know,
That's
but
my
this
question.
looks
And when you
fake
say
as
not a
hell.
fake picture.
And I just described how it looks.
Like the last one they showed us. The pictures they show us should be consistent, but not as consistent as when they showed Jupiter 10 years later. And
you not use your megaphone when you talk over here? Dang.
It looks so fake, it must be real.
Yeah, why does this look so
there you go.
different than
Going-
all their
going
other
back to-
pictures?
Going back to the quotes out of context. It looks so fake that it looks real. Yeah. Anyway, my thing is that you guys sit here and look at something and it says it looks ridiculous, but when I ask what should it look like, you come with a I don't know, and that's just a very poor argument. It's like if you're gonna sit here and say, look,
It's
here's
not
a
an
picture of
argument.
something.
Saying I don't know is not an argument.
Okay, well, if so, my question: how do you come to the conclusion that it shouldn't look like that when you have no idea what it should look like?
Well, what happened to this
That's-
Venus? What happened to this other looking Venus? How come this one looks so different now?
So are we now? So are we arguing that because it's a different color, it looks bad?
Well, it's not even a different color. The texture doesn't look the same. That is a strange looking picture. Would you not agree that this is a strange looking picture? It looks flat. It looks like smoke blown on top of a blue plate. The edges look strange. You see how the Terminator line looks strange, and the edge is all lumpy. You don't see that? I mean,
it's lacking its pair quality.
Is this a what's it called, a photograph taking with a CMOS sensor?
I don't know what it is.
Well, there you go. You should start there. Why does it look different? All you do is you sit there and say, "Oh, it looks weird. This is ridiculous." Man, dig in a little more, a little deeper, man. That's all I'm saying. Like, it's okay to question, but
no,
you just going out there saying it looks weird. That sounds weak.
It doesn't look weird to you. Does this look weird to you?
It looks different.
It looks different. It looks different. Why does it look different?
It looks different than the other one.
Exactly.
The colors, but I'm not saying it's ridiculous.
See how it's got this nice hard shape, no lumps.
Right, here's the thing. Well, you start with that. It looks different. Okay, well, then you think, why does it look different? Okay, what kind of cameras is it used to capture this image? Is it a photograph of visible light? Is it a lot of spectrum that we don't see? That's the questions you need to ask, not just sit there and say, "Ah, it looks weird, it looks different."
I'm not that interested. I'm not that interested in investigating the fake ass shit from NASA.
Well, then how do you?
I mean, I'm sorry it offends you so much that I say that it looks fake and that it looks weird. That's fine. That I'm telling you visually what it looks like to me. I'm not going to go and investigate why does Venus look like this. That would be a waste of time to me. I don't believe what NASA is telling us. Why would I go investigate why their one picture looks the way it does?
Well, it sounds really very nice from somebody trying to prove the Earth.
What's this one?
And trying to be skeptical.
What's this got to do? What's Venus got to do with the Earth is flat?
What you tell me? You're the one.
I don't know. We're just looking through the 8 history-making things from 2020 for NASA. We come across a picture. It looks weird, and you are offended by that.
I'm not offended. I'm just criticizing the attitude that I see very frequently.
Well,
it's just.
Let me explain it a little bit, Carlos. Let me explain it. We're not.
But okay.
Yeah, let me say one quick thing. I look at Jupiter. I was all into these pictures and all that. I look at Jupiter, and then like 7 or 8 years later, they show a flyby. Okay, and you compare them, and they're identical. Every cloud formation, every gas, right there. I start questioning things, and a normal person should. When we see that they blatantly lied right to my face, saying this is a whole different satellite, different image. And it's identical. A normal person starts to question things at that point. I don't know what kind of person defends them, but I'm still working that out. Go ahead.
Yeah. Okay.
It seems like they can't decide how Venus should look. I don't know why there's so many different versions of how Venus looks. Do you?
Well, it depends on what the instrument is that they're capturing the photograph with.
Well, most of these are just straight up art.
Look at this picture of me that they tagged me on Facebook. I don't look like that, but then in fact it is you. You know, it could be the lighting, it could be the instrument. You know, have you looked at yourself through an infrared camera? Do you look the same way you look at yourself in the mirror? Do you look the same? No. Those are when you're looking at all these photographs of all these things. You know, you're really, if you're just going to compare them like that without even thinking of what type of image is or what type of instrument they use. That's all I'm criticizing.
I get you. I get you, Carlos.
Hey, this looks weird.
I don't care though. I don't care because I don't care to investigate why Venus looks strange in the one picture though. That's all I'm saying. So I'm not offering this as evidence. Oh, it looks fake because it looks weird. I'm pointing out that it's a weird fucking looking picture. That's all.
Fair enough.
Hey, Brandon, the problem that you have with Venus is it's constantly covered with a dense cloud cover. We can never see the surface. So what's changing is the clouds. The surface isn't changing. It's just that we can't see the surface. We've never been able to see the surface unless send a probe to go beneath the clouds.
Okay. And which one of these is what Venus looks like through a telescope, now that we're talking about it?
I know that one in the center there kind of looks, I mean, when I've looked at Venus, looks a lot like that. I mean, what you'd expect, looking at clouds reflecting light.
All right. Okay, so George, which of these stories from 2020, these 8 history-making stories, are you most excited about?
Well, I wouldn't say excited. The collapse of the Arecibo radio telescope was pretty sad and significant.
Why do you say that? Why was it significant?
Well, I mean, something that huge to watch it collapse.
They were demoing it, George.
In a sense, we all find fascination in train wrecks and fires.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Okay. Hey, George, have you been following the last couple days this work I've done to try to figure out how far we can see in the Mage 2 photographs? Have you seen any of that?
No, I've been working outside lately.
Oh, that's a bummer. So I'd like to try to get your opinion.
By the time I get done, this is the earliest I've been in the house. Usually when I tune in, it's the last half hour, 15 minutes of the show, so I don't get to see much.
Gotcha. How about Pete the Great's garage footage? Have you seen that? Where the bottom of the boats disappear?
No.
And the light disappears just because of the atmosphere? You haven't
No.
seen that yet?
No.
Well, I'd like to show that to you because it shows an inferior mirage in the atmosphere, just the atmosphere. You should be able to see it in Discord, causing the bottom of this target to completely disappear, including a light. So let me just show you the picture of the target first, and I'll get your opinion on what's going on here since you've studied refraction. You see the light on the right, it's about 1.5 to 2 centimeters off the ground, this white light. On the left, there's some lasers we're not that interested in.
I don't see anything. Where am I supposed to be looking?
Oh, hold on. Let me make sure that, I'm sharing my screen in Discord.
I don't know. All I see on Discord is a last.
Inches?
What's that, Brian?
You sure that ain't inches? Like, it looks like 2 inches to me. But I can't see it real good. But that's how my tape measure looks. It could be.
He's in Europe, so yeah, I'm pretty sure it's centimeters.
Okay.
All right, thanks.
I see a tape measure and a lot of colors and stuff.
Exactly. So pay attention to the boat in the front on the piece of wood. There's the left boat with the blue bottom, the right boat with the red bottom. Yeah, those are supposed to be boats. They're crude drawings on that piece of wood. And then on the right,
those are drawings.
Well,
on wood. Okay.
Yeah, I'll tell Pete you don't appreciate his artwork, but that's what they're supposed to be.
What's the stuff just to the right of the tape measure? These oblong oval type things, the red, the pink, and the green. What are those?
Those are like safety wands. I assume they're for use in a factory so that when you're backing up a truck or something, you have a LED light that flashes in those things.
All right. Okay.
Yeah. And then to the right, there's the light. Do you see the light that's sitting on the ground?
At the very edge
Yeah,
of the
at
image?
the very edge, yeah.
Oh, okay.
All right, so that's about, 2 centimeters off the ground, somewhere around there? Okay, now
it all depends how far in back of the tape measure that is.
Yeah, it's somewhere around there, though. You can see the boat's 3. Here's what it looks like. He lowers his camera. At the start of the video, he has his camera raised up. He's looking at this. This is 240 feet, 80 meters. This is zoomed in. He lowers his camera. You can see some miraging take place. We still see the light. We see the boats are mirrored already, right? Those are the two things we're worried about, the boats and the light. He's going to open the door behind him here in the beginning, and I'm going to zoom through this, and you're going to see some miraging and some other effects move across the ground floor. You see that? And now here's the interesting part is when he opens the door, he lets that settle down, and he opens the door behind the target. I'm going to play it from there, and you can watch what happens, and then we'll get your opinion on what takes place here. Yeah, the garage door.
Like there's a door open.
That white thing behind the target. Yeah.
I mean, open it wider.
Yeah, this is closed. No, this is closed all the way. There's a black rubber thing on the bottom of the door. So he opens it.
Seal.
Yeah, seal. Thank you. He opens it and closes it. Opens it for a few seconds. Now pay attention to the images in the center and the light. And then we'll get your opinion on what you think is taking place here. Boom, doors closed. It is about 68 Fahrenheit inside the building and around 30 Fahrenheit outside.
So you got cold air creeping along the floor.
Yep. That's what it looks like. Yep. And obviously we can see now.
you'd have a rather abrupt temperature gradient.
You got a pretty big temperature gradient. Yep. And this continues on for about a minute and a half. The light kind of blinks through at times, but for the most part, the light is completely hidden behind the mirage. We'll just call it mirage, the mirroring layer, due to this temperature differential that has been introduced with the door opening. At least that's what I'm assuming it's from. Seems like a fair assumption. And the bottom of these boats is they're obstructed from the bottom up. So what are your thoughts, George?
Well, there's obviously a lot of air turbulence there that's causing the light to do all kinds of strange things. I don't think the terminology should be that the light is hidden. It is just being refracted and being directed away from your eye.
The light's
Maybe
not
if
hidden.
you move your head around, you might see the light. You know, it's just that it's not being directed in the direction to your eye where you were when you first started viewing it. So it isn't really hidden.
So it's not hidden. It's not hidden. We just can't see it. You're saying?
Jesus, Jeremy, you're so dumb. God.
Well, I mean,
That's not what I said. You're always twisting.
We can't
shit.
see the light. But it's not hidden. So I don't know what
Well, it means that the light rays are not being intercepted by your eye. They could be they're deflected and bent elsewhere into the building. They're not. It's not really being hidden. The light is there. It's just that you have to be intercepting the light rays, and if you have all this atmosphere,
Hold on, guys. Hold on. Let George finish.
Going on, it's going to move the light rays elsewhere away from your eye. So if you move your head around, you might see it.
Hey, George. So that's a good point. So from the viewpoint of the observer, let's not talk about moving around. Is the light in the bottom of the boats obstructed by the atmosphere?
Light in the bottom of the boat.
The light and the bottom of the boats, are they obstructed? Are they visible to the observer?
Again, the terminology is wrong. I wouldn't say it's obstructed. It's that the light is being directed elsewhere, and if you moved your head, you'd probably see it.
But from this viewpoint, can we see the light in the bottom of the boats, or are they not visible from the bottom up?
Not in the position of where the observer is right now. No.
Well, that's all we're worried about when we take observations like this, is the position that the current observer is at. When we take photos or videos, that's what we're talking about. When we look over the ocean, we're talking about where the observer currently is. I don't know when have we ever talked about, well, if you move, you'll see the bottom of those boats.
What's the point here?
I just wanted to get your opinion on why, or if you think those are being obstructed from the bottom up, those boats, by the atmosphere alone, and the light is being hidden by the atmosphere.
No, it's not being hidden. It's just being directed elsewhere, and you're not seeing it.
If something is visible and I'm looking at it,
okay, go ahead. Whatever turns your crank. But
if I can see a light and then something happens and I can't see the light is hidden. It is not visible to me.
No. Hidden is like if you have an object in front of it blocking the light. The light is not being blocked. It's just being redirected. I hate the terminology you're using. That's all.
Okay. I get the terminology. I guess I understand what you're saying. The light rays are going elsewhere, but to the viewer, they are not visible. And for all intents and purposes, the atmosphere is hiding the light from the viewer.
I mean, are we talking about the definition? Are we talking about the definition of hidden? Because it's to be kept out of sight or concealed.
All right.
Your problem with the word hidden? What terminology is your problem with?
I don't want to talk to you, Jeremy. I'm talking about Brandon.
Okay.
So what What's the point now? What's the end game here?
Oh, the end game is nothing. This is just, we're just cataloging a phenomena that we see in a lot of our observations out over water or over long distance, when there's mirroring or miraging that hide the bottom of boats and different objects.
Yeah, I don't disagree. I mean, if you looking at the surface of water, you get all kinds of strange things going on. A lot of miraging. Sure.
No, you get miraging in a lot of places, but this is one atmospheric effect
Water
that can hide hold on, George, that can hide the bottom of objects and completely make a light not visible to the viewer. This is one thing that can do bottom-up obstruction. That's all.
Bottom-up obstruction.
Bottom-up obstruction of objects at a distance. Yeah.
Again, the terminology. All you have is a mirage that, distorts the light, and have a region of the bottom of the boat. It's just that it's very, very compressed due to the refraction. I see a lot of this going on the bay out here in the summertime over water, and a lot of that disappears in the wintertime. Now that we have ice on the bay, we get nice stable images, and you don't get a lot of this extreme refraction going on. Only near sunset.
When you put an object in front of something and you can't see it anymore, why can't you see it anymore?
Because it's obstructed. The light, if the object is solid, it is blocking the light from reaching your eye. We call that obstruction.
It's stopping the light from reaching your eyes, right? So if what's happening is the thing you're claiming that's happening, the result is the same. If you put an object in front of it, the light's not reaching your eyes. You're claiming the light's being redirected, so the light's not reaching your eyes. It's the same exact result. The light isn't getting to your eyes.
But what's happening, what I see happening here, and what goes on with miraging is the region which you are calling the bottom of the boat has this apparent compression going on, where it just in the vertical it gets compressed, where the bottom now appears to be a very thin line rather than this wide.
But his point wasn't like attempting to explain what's going on.
It's not obstructed, it's just being mixed in and masked by some of the other regions of the boat, or
instead of the
I don't think so. I don't think you're right about that analysis, George. Because look at this. Look at this boat right here. You can't see any black over here.
What's the deal?
Well, listen, George. I don't think your explanation is correct for this reason. I'm just going to tell you why. I don't see any of that boat, any red. I should see some red here. I should see some blue here. For all intents and purposes, it's gone. Now I see some mirroring of the top. I see some mirroring on the top over here on this boat. But that blue and that red is completely gone. It's not compressed at all. I don't see it at all. I don't see the light at all. The light's certainly not compressed. It's gone. Right?
It's masked. Most of it is. I'm a little confused here. What's the clear stuff on the edges of the pink and the green? Are you overlaying an image or something here, or what's going on?
No, I'm not overlaying an image here. This is look. I just stopped it at a certain point. The door goes up and boom.
What's
Show them the
what's
original
on
image,
the
Brandon,
edge
up
here?
close.
Go to the
So you
edge
see the
of that,
reflection.
and I see a very clear, well-defined image of these.
Yeah, it's two separate screens on Brandon on your YouTube, on your screen. You see in the original screen and the video.
Oh, you can see two screens? Oh, okay. Here, let me just share the video then. All right. You should see just the video that is in question now. All right. So in this image, I don't see...
No, I don't see anything. I just see black.
You just see black. All right, let me try again.
It came through for me. Must be his connection.
All right, I'm going to try the screen again. You should see just the video. Does anybody see just the video?
Just a minute. I lost everything.
Okay.
Just a minute.
All right. We'll give you a minute.
Something's going on. It's thinking all I see is a couple blue squares circling one another. It's like it's
To me, the point would be
buffering or
cold,
something.
cold
I
air
don't know.
blockage at the bottom. Cold air blockage at the bottom.
Yeah, I mean, my point is, George, it's not compressed. The light is completely gone. You can't see the light. The bottom of the boats aren't compressed in this. They're gone. They are concealed from the viewer by the atmosphere alone. They're obstructed. We can bicker about the words and semantics, but
if you want to call it that, fine. Okay. What's the point?
No, this is an example of how bottom-up obstruction happens at distance in the real world, thanks to just the atmosphere.
Well, if you have miraging, extreme miraging like that, that's a pretty extreme case.
Well, it's not that extreme. This happens all the time. We observe this all the time. Travis could probably break you off 50 examples.
Are you somehow connecting this to like objects as they recede that they start going over the curve of the Earth? Is this what you're trying to tie this into?
I'm saying,
No.
Hold on.
Examples. Yeah, go ahead.
Yes, I am saying that sometimes what we see of the bottom disappearing of objects as they recede away from us, this is what happens. This is one of the phenomena that causes that to happen. One of the atmospheric phenomena.
Yeah, that's one. But what about on a very clear day where you don't have miraging?
Well, on a very clear day, in my opinion, you do see the bottom of objects. Those are the clear days when we do see, which are few and far between, a clear day where you can see long distances.
Oh, no, I have very clear days most of the time. I've been, every day I've been going out and making measurements out on the horizon with my targets. And it's very rare that I don't get good viewing.
I've seen your examples of clear days. Now, what you're considering a clear day, I'd like to see an example of that, George, if you're at your computer, so that we can just try to figure out what a baseline is for each of us. We've had this discussion before.
Hang on a second. Hang on a second.
Okay.
I need things up. I've got so much loaded on this thing with windows and tabs open that it's a little bit slow. But go ahead, talk while I get my images, some of my images.
Let me say something real quick, Brandon.
Yeah, go ahead, Brian.
Like we asked the globe for examples of looming. We want to see something brought back over curve. We still haven't got that. And they ask us for examples of something disappearing that's in direct view. They say it's not possible. Okay, so this is our response to the challenge. Okay, and we still haven't got. This is one of the several responses to that challenge that we're supplying, and it just gets blown off. But the point is that here in several ways can block from the bottom. We still have to be beyond a curve.
Oh.
Also, more than
Brian, you're roboting bad.
Oh my God.
Anyway, so yeah, we're not saying that this explains all of the observations that we have, because there's other phenomena that take place in the atmosphere that cause you to have a different viewpoint, just as you said. There's not always miraging, there's not always this mirroring, but this is certainly one example where just the atmosphere alone can conceal objects, including a light. And it happens from the bottom up. So that's my point.
Well, this bottom up thing, yeah, I don't disagree with that. It's always going to happen near the surface of the water. I mean, that's where you have your humidity zone and greatest temperature difference from the surface temperature of the water to the air, and you end up having a lot of extreme refraction occurring, which causes miraging and other things. But if you move on up over the surface of the water, get up high enough, you get out of that zone and the mirage disappears and you start seeing the object unobstructed. I mean, if you're going to stay viewing near the water, yeah, you're going to have all kinds of weird things taking place.
How high do you think we need to get up? And at what distance?
13 feet at least 13 feet.
13 feet? Would 45 feet be high enough to get up to where you'd say you're probably out of the refraction zone?
Anything higher than 13 feet gets you out of that refractive zone.
Okay, because here on screen, I've got a picture taken. It's in the same location as the black swan photos were taken. In fact, the thing on the left, what are these things called? Oil rig on the left, which is 14.6 miles away. This is a 45-foot viewer height.
I can't see what you're seeing. There's something weird going on. It's just buffering for me.
Okay, all right. You got the dancing dots.
Yeah.
Well, that's unfortunate.
That's all I got going on.
I just tried to share again.
Let me try. Hang on. Let me try restarting. I'll just pop out and come back in.
Okay, cool. Anyway, so this is, I'll repeat this to George, but this is at 45 feet. So this should be well out of the refractive zone. We don't see any miraging that is obvious in this picture. And we can clearly see past the oil rigs, which should be hidden. We'll ask him what he thinks about this since it's above the refractive zone.
What now? All right, I've got it now.
Okay, cool. You can see the oil rigs pictures there.
Yeah, platform A, B, C, and Hill House.
Yeah, so these were at a viewer height of 45 feet, so well above that refractive zone. And as you can see, each of these should have some globe hidden figure up all the way up to 27 feet. And we can see the horizon behind each one of them. So since we're out of the refractive zone, we don't have to worry about miraging or extreme refraction.
Oh no, you're looking into the refractive zone as you look towards the horizon. You're looking into the refractive zone.
So it doesn't really matter how high we get up. If we look out far enough, we still have to look down. Anytime we look down at the horizon, we're still looking down into the refractive zone.
Correct. That's correct. What I'm talking about is if you want to assess things, you need to look at objects that are at least 13 feet and higher above the surface of the water. When you're looking down near the horizon, the surface of the water, you're looking back into, Jesus Christ, who's interrupting? You're looking into the extreme refractive zone whenever you're looking close to the surface of the water. What I'm talking about is imagine drawing a straight line parallel to the surface of the earth at the point at which you're observing. If, say, you're 20 feet up, you want to look at objects in the distance that are at least 20 feet up above the water in order to get out of this refractive zone. Anything lower than that, you're looking down towards the surface of the water, you're going to have, more often than not, strange atmospheric things taking place and playing tricks with your optics.
Well, we've got no strange atmospheric things taking place here, yet we clearly see a horizon behind.
Yes, you do.
What? What do we have going on here?
You're trying to say that the horizon line should not be above the oil rig. And I'm saying you've got refraction taking place there. That's raising the horizon line up. I see this sort of thing happening all the time. Now, if you're going to want to start getting out of that zone, you need to look at objects like a building or something back on that land distance that's up above the water. Then you won't be seeing it moving up and down, the image moving up and down with the refraction to the sort of degree that you see things moving up and down near the surface of the water. That's one of the things I'm doing right now. Every day I'm going out and making measurements with a theodolite and accurately recording. within an arc second of various points on images in the background on known fixed points, and seeing how they move around in the image from day to day, different times of the day. And I'm not going to get into it right now because I'm accumulating the data. Here before too long, I'll be making videos and release the data and the images. I just haven't had time to put it all together.
All right, that sounds pretty good.
Your viewer height? Can you just tell us your viewer height?
But if you want to see, I can share a screen. I can show you an image I took earlier this.
Let me respond to what you just said, though, George, because I guess what you're saying is it's really no use looking out from, even 45 feet out onto objects that are on the surface of the ocean, because you're always going to be looking into that refractive zone. So you need something elevated above on
you
land.
Gotta be careful. Yeah, you got to be careful on what you're observing. You have to take care. I mean, if you're just looking at images, that makes no sense. That's why I'm using theodolite to fixed points on land, on islands out on the bay. And those I know are fixed and should be fixed in the image. So by how they shift relative to one another, it allows me to assess how much refraction there is as a function of height above the water. And you can see things changing as you look down towards the surface of the water, whereas objects that are higher up, like 13 feet, 20 feet, 30 some feet up the water, they don't shift that often. I mean, you have to have some really extreme temperature gradients in order to start seeing those objects that are up off the water start shifting. Like I had at sunset today, I had an extreme amount of refraction. You could see it really shimmering wildly up above the ice, and targets moved way up in that condition. But most of the time, I don't see the target shifting very much at all, as long as there aren't these extreme temperature gradients.
You say you have something you're sharing, George?
Well, I can.
What's your viewer height, George? Wow.
I said 13 feet. Sorry
about that. I missed it.
So you were going to show me an example of what you think is a clear day.
Well, I'm just saying where I don't have a lot of atmospheric turbulence and not much haze. That's what I call a clear day. Hang on a second here. See a tire screen. Doesn't seem to be doing anything. Here, Apple.
It would seem to me from what you're saying that anything that you're looking at.
Are you seeing my application window at all?
No, it doesn't look like you're sharing yet.
Huh. I don't know.
You know how to share that little green share your screen?
Yes, I'm in share the screen. Like I said, things are acting very slow and weird today for me on Discord.
If you can post
How accurate is that 13 foot?
Okay, here we go.
Okay.
It's finally coming through.
All right.
How accurate is that 13?
Are you getting it now?
Yeah, I got the dancing squares myself now, but let's give it a minute. What were you saying,
While we're waiting
Rakia?
on that, how accurate is that 13 foot?
Oh, accurate?
Yes.
You mean above the surface? Above the surface? You need that height?
Yes.
Oh, probably within a quarter inch.
When did you set that?
Well, I went off a mark that Jesse Kozlowski set for me a couple years ago using his GPS, surveying GPS. And I know the exact height within his measurement error, which was about 4 millimeters. And so I have that peg in the rocks where at my observation point, and I mounted a 2-inch steel post into the bedrock and made a platform on the top to mount the tribec of the theodolite on, and I precisely set all the heights so that when I mount the theodolite on the tribec, the center of the optics is 66 inches above the mark that Jesse set for me. And then if you add the height that mark is above the surface of the water, the total height comes, hang on, I'll give it to you. Hang on a sec here.
Okay. Yeah, George, I'm just getting, it's not coming through. Is anybody else seeing George's screen, or does everybody else have the dancing squares?
The combined heights is 66 inches, 47.31 inches, and 33.5 inches. So you add those up, and that's the height, the center of the optics of the theodolite is above the surface of the water. Let's see here.
George, try resharing. I don't think any of us are getting the stream for some reason.
Okay, hang on. Let's see here. What's going on? This stream has ended. Cricket noise. What the hell does that mean? Okay, let's try again.
Okay.
Camera on. Share your screen. Okay.
Now, this stuff you're doing with refraction, you're not doing it in regards to the shape of the Earth. Is that right? You're just studying refractive effects?
Right, but it can also, my targets are such, and you can also use it for measuring Earth curvature if you want to. Okay, is the image coming through?
Yes, yep, I can see it now.
All right, that's what I call clear day. That's 3 miles away. And you can see in the center of the structure, that's the target that I have set up. The big structure is a channel marker in the bay, the 2A, that's the 2A channel marker. And the structure, in the center of the structure, I mounted this target that's designed to be 33 arc seconds in height. And you see 2 triangles, 2 black triangles. The apexes are touching one another. That's so you can find the center of the target. And at the center of the target, there's a surveying prism. So I can shine a laser light to it and get it reflected back to me. But anyway, that's what I'd call fairly clear day. You know, you can see all 4 standards, vertical standards of the tower, and on not such good days, those will merge together. Those are actually those white. You see the white lines, the vertical lines. That's a steel structure. Those are 2 inches in width, and you can make that out. And so that's what I call a fairly clear day.
Okay, makes sense. This is kind of different than what we were looking at in regards to seeing the horizon and how much of the horizon is above it. But yeah,
well, this is zoomed in. This isn't. I mean, I've got a lot of photographs and a lot of data, and I haven't begun to organize it yet to put it where people can grab onto it and look at it and make their own assessments. I'm kind of jumping the gun here. I just showing you quickly of what I'm doing.
Gotcha.
Hey, George, is it at least possible that during when the sun's going down and you say that images are getting higher, is it possible that during the sunny part of the day that the sun's stirring shit up and making things look lower? And then during sunset, they're just getting back to where they were.
No.
Things calm back down.
No.
Not possible at all, George?
During the day, pardon?
Go ahead.
What?
Go ahead. That's all right.
I say because during the day, from day to day, the targets and their positions is very stable. It would be that would be a huge stretch to say from day to day everything is sinking exactly the same amount, and then by sunset, at sunset, somehow miraculously, this one sunset brings it all back to where it should be.
Fair enough, but let me say, if I can give you some critical input, if you get a chance, have somebody set up a light at a known height and do some of them shots at night. It ain't got to be real late, but the later the better, because nighttime is way more consistent temperatures than in the heat of the day, especially.
That's wrong.
Temperatures are
wrong.
wildly inconsistent.
That's wrong. Some of the worst refraction you get is at nighttime.
Well, just do it. I mean, it's worth it. Well, then shove it down my throat. Do it, and
Oh, it's very easy to do it. Like I say, I have a prism at the center. Do you still see the image?
Yeah.
At the center of that target, where you have the two black triangles meeting one another, they're at the center of the tower structure. There is a 2.5-inch prism sitting there, so I can shine a laser at it at nighttime and it glows. So, that would be very easy
during the heat of the day. Also,
on.
man, you're gonna have a lot of hot air beaming off that metal structure too. So keep that in
No,
mind.
you're not. No, you're not.
What do you mean,
Not
no,
this
you're
time
not?
of year.
Have you ever tried to pick up a piece of rebar in the sun?
Don't you get it?
If you go to
That's
pick
not
up a
rebar.
listen,
That's white. It's not going to heat up much at all.
pick up a white piece of rebar. Pick up some coated rebar even in the sun in the daytime. You can't even hold it. It burns your freaking hand.
Yeah, in the summertime, try doing that when it's 20 degrees Fahrenheit out.
Doesn't matter the time of year. It's still going to be way hotter
Yes,
than the
it
rest
does.
of the
It
outside.
doesn't absorb heat. God,
George,
you're an
no
idiot.
matter what, the rebar is going to
No.
be hotter than the air around it by a certain temperature.
Not much at all. No. There's
All right.
many mechanisms of heat transfer. You have radiation and absorption, and in this time of year out here on the ice, is you have more radiative loss than you have gain.
Okay, I'm with you on that.
The,
but if
the
you had
metal
animals,
reaches the air temperature. They're
if you
essentially
had
equal.
alligators up there, they'd be basking in the sun. And I'm sure any animals you got, they lay out.
Oh my
and they
God!
wanna
This is
be
winter, you
in
idiot!
constant sunlight.
Jesus Christ!
Hey,
What's wrong
as
with
I
this
said,
guy?
that's hypothetical, asshole. Dude, you deny any. I'm just bringing up something you could do a little bit of critical input, and you just go into shutdown mode. It's like dude, you got no
I'm
common
trying to
sense.
tell you, you're
wrong. You said,
and you won't
hold on,
accept
let me
it.
finish. You said you got to be 13 foot off the ground. You said object at a distance at least 15 foot off the ground. Well, over foot, you dumbass.
I can't understand.
You got no
a thing
common
he's
sense,
saying.
bro.
He's robot-y.
Yeah, I know.
I said them oil rigs off of the distance are higher than 15 foot. You're saying they got to be and the distance got to be at least 50 foot. Then you change it to 20 foot. Them oil rigs are higher than 20 foot, dipshit.
Anyway, all right. Well, we're not going to get to the bottom of this tonight, but I appreciate the early look at your new study that you're doing here, George. Thank you. And why don't we do final thoughts? It's after 8 o'clock. I'm getting hungry. Go find something to eat. We'll let you go last, George, since you're the only baller on the panel, and we'll start off with Bob Dole. Bob Dole, final thoughts? No Bob Dole. Alrighty. SM Storm 11. Any final thoughts? No. SE Montreal. 0 for 3. Rakia Life.
I'm here. I just don't have anything to say right now.
All right. Fair enough. Fair enough. Gleam, I don't think he's got a microphone on. FE Van.
Hey, I was just want to say thanks.
All right. Thanks. Thank you. FE
Brandon, how are you?
Hey, what's up?
Yeah, good, man. Is my audio okay? I know I was clipping the other day. Is it sorted or is it still dodgy?
No, it sounds pretty good.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I did try to jump in earlier. You sort of saw me, but I had connection issues. I just want to point out with that whole Mr. Sensible thing, Yesterday, when you're talking to Ruhif, you were kind of nailing his feet to the ground on the distance to the horizon, and it was beautiful. And then old mate Rumpus jumps in and kind of created an escape hatch for him by his claim that the cameras were at the wrong angle, were not horizontal but at an angle. And straight after that, I said to Ruhif, well, why on earth, if you're going to send a balloon up to look at Earth curve or flatness or whatever, why would you put your cameras at an angle? And Ruhif said, I don't know. Now, I have to go back and re-listen to it, but Rumpus came in as though he had some level of prior knowledge, like he was sitting in the room when Mr. Sensible built this device, and he spoke with authority that the cameras were at an angle. Now, what you showed today clearly proved that was not the case, clearly proving that Rumpus is a lying sack of crap that's just out to deceive. Like I said, all he did, he could hear Ruhif was getting smashed. He created an escape hatch for him to jump through. It's your server, it's your rules, but mate, I would not let Rumpus back in here because all he does is lie, cheat and deceive, and he's not worth listening to, other than just to abuse and for entertainment value. But that one thing alone, he's rubbish. Get rid of him. Cheers, buddy. Good show.
Interesting feedback, Effie. Yeah, I think we put that one to bed today, but that was very interesting how that went down yesterday. I agree with you 100%.
This is my final thoughts. My final thoughts, Brandon, is if he likes Rumpus bashing, he should check out my video on Flat Earth Test, Rumpus versus Math and Common Sense. Yeah, have a good one.
Yeah, that was a good video, Brian. Thanks, Brian. Allie. No, Allie, he might have fallen asleep. George, final thoughts?
Am I still sharing?
Yeah, you are.
Okay. People are asking about the theodolite. Where is it mounted? Here is the mount of the theodolite. You can see it's on this 2-inch steel pole that's cemented into the bedrock. And you can see it's up on the land there. I have a closer shot there. You can see what it is. So it's always permanently mounted, same height every time, same position, never changes. And what I can do is detach the theodolite from the Tribec mount at the top of the pole, bring it inside to keep it, warm, and then bring it outside and let it stabilize temperature-wise when I want to make the measurements. So it's always set to the same height all the time. And this is looking at the 6-mile target. You can see the to the left of the crosshairs there. At that target there is out at 6 miles on island in Canada.
Okay, interesting.
So
how high were you mounted the other day when you posted that picture? The one I just posted in general. Was that a different mounting spot?
What are you talking? You just posted something?
All right, we'll let them continue, and I'll record after just in case anything exciting happens. Thanks to everybody in the chat. I see we had a pretty heavy infestation of trolls tonight. Anybody that hung in there and pushed back on them, appreciate it. Appreciate everybody who listens to the show. Thank you very much for stopping in. We'll be back tomorrow, New Year's Eve, most likely. I don't think I have any special plans that are going to cause me to miss the show. But we'll be back. Hopefully we can get Sensible on in the next day or so. I saw he was in the chat, but I never expected him to come on or asked. I just put it out there that we were going to be talking about it. But sounds like he might be willing to come on and go through it with us. So we'll see what he has to say. Other than that, have a good night. Thanks for coming. Appreciate it. Talk to you later. Bye.